A lone figure works their way across the deck of the Siren's Call. The storm around them is torrential as the rain falls upon the deck in sheets like a curtain. In the sky, the lightning strikes create blazes of bright, pinpointed light that appear and disappear. The salty spray of the waves beneath splash across the well-worn wooden deck. The old ship continues to creak and groan as it fights its way through the storm. Other figures move their way across the deck, desperately trying to lower the sails and tether down all of the various parts of the ship before the wind and the storm takes them overboard. One figure, silhouetted by a strike of lightning, grabs onto a rope on one side of the deck and tethers it onto a mast. Their hands working deftly with a skill and an understanding that comes from years at sea. Ellery, could you describe yourself, please?
I'm wearing a gray wool vest, and it is soaked. It's drenched. It's wet from all the rain, and there's a white shirt, a white tunic underneath, and sleeves are rolled up from working. There's a little bit of dirt, maybe even some patches on the side because this tunic's a little old. There is some breezy pants, but they're a little tight, and some boots that are having a hard time staying afoot on the wet wood of the ship. With pink hair, it's pulled tightly back to stay out of my eyes. And I have a little bit of pointed ears, where I'm half elf, and really just, you can see that I'm working, and maybe there's even a little bit of dirt on my cheek.
As Ellery completes the knot on the mast, a figure grabs her by the shoulder, whips her around, and you see the pockmarked and worn face of the first mate of the Siren's Call. It's a strange-looking dwarven man named Snail. His beard is patchy, and his eyes are beady and dark. I need you to go over into the captain's chambers and find out what's taking so long. We need to know whether we're going to stay the course or whether we're turning back. Moray's over 3 days past us, and we can't get through the Moonshine Isles any quicker than this. You're gonna need to do it now. Move it, Seaborn.
Aye.
Pushing you kind of onto your feet, the dwarf's meaty paw kind of slides you across the wet deck. Do you make your way to the captain's chambers, or do you go elsewhere?
With a little bit of a scuff, I go and do it.
Snail turns and starts shouting orders at the other sailors as the ship battens itself down as the wind continues to beat across the deck and sheets of rain pour in front of you. It's hard to see, but you make your way to the captain's door. a green door that has been painted over many, many times before. The aged wood creaks underneath your hand as the door slides open, and for the first time, you find yourself free from the rain. Dripping, you stand now in a dark room. The sound of the storm is outside of the leaded glass windows, and inside this chamber, there is a sour smell that assails you as soon as you press through. It's quiet. There are candles that are burnt very, very low, and an oil lamp sways back and forth as the ship rocks against the waves. The light is inconsistent, and on the far side is a large, massive wooden desk. That desk has been there for as long as anyone can remember. It is heavily carved and seems to be part of the ship. Papers are strewn across it, and parchment and maps and sextants and compasses are scattered across like a battlefield. In the center, a saber has been driven into the top of the desk, and a bottle of wine rolls to your feet, empty. On the floor, you see a cup. The captain is passed out, face down on the desk, muttering to himself. This is Smiter Graybull, the captain of the Siren's Call. And as you have been on this ship now for many months, you've come to know this man. Once very regal and stately, your time in Moray of the Moonshade Isles has changed him. The cargo that you picked up has changed him. Below deck, there are a number of exotic and strange creatures. You weren't part of the away team, but you heard stories, and only about half of them returned. Rumors on the ship are that there is a dragon horde that is now held within the deck of the ship, being carried to Waterdeep via Baldur's Gate. But if you and your companions don't sail out of this storm, none of that will matter. The captain murmurs. I can't. No, this isn't right. Everything is wrong. I see it now. The shadows are everywhere. Closing in. We don't have much time. I failed. I failed you, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. What do you do?
Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Look at you go.
I hit it.
All right, and so you look around the room. Your perception roll was a 10, and outside of the shadowy, dark-lit room and the scatter of parchment and equipment, you don't notice anything odd about the room itself, but I'll have you make an insight check on the captain. That's a 21. So that is a very good roll. You've been busy. You've been busy. You've been working your fingers to the bone. It's good for you. You understand the sea. You're more comfortable here. Your half-elf blood has brought you here. You found a home on all of the various ships that you have given your services to, and this ship is no different. Being a part of this crew, you've come to understand the people that are involved in the day-to-day operations of this very old galleon ship. While there is a good amount of harshness from Snail, Smiter Graybull is an intelligent, educated, and kind man. Hailing from Neverwinter, he has spent his life sailing and acquired the Siren Call through a series of inheritances that were passed down from various sources throughout the year. You've, in your time on the ship, come to know that he is not prone to drinking, and that ever since you left Moray, he has been haunted by something. And now, looking at everything on the desk in front of you, you think you understand why. Tucked underneath the maps and the parchment is a book with a dark leather cover. It is impossibly old looking, twisted. The parchment seems to be darkened leather. The exterior of the book has a malicious look to it. And there are twisted forms that seem to have been etched into the pages that are open before the captain. What do you do, Ellery?
I would like to. Is the bottle? Where was that bottle that rolled?
It's at your foot right now. It was on the floor,
Oh, yeah.
And because of the rocking of the ship, it rolled over to your foot, your boot.
I'd like to pick that up and be like, what is this? And then kind of inquire with the captain. Like, we've been working together for some time now, and I want to know, what's going on here?
So, yeah, you pick up the bottle and you ask your question, and immediately the captain's head shoots up from the desk, and his face causes you to take a step back. It's pale and gaunt. There are dark circles underneath his eyes, and he seems to have lost 25 pounds of weight in just the days since you've seen him.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't see you there, Seaborn. I am sorry. I have been calculating the distance to Baldur's Gate, and given our cargo, I feel that we are well on course. Let Mr. Snail know that the ship may proceed normally.
Normally, we're going into a storm right now. Have you looked out the window? It's raining.
Oh, yes.
People want to know where are we going? Because clearly your calculations are off.
It's beautiful, isn't it? Follows us, knows where we go, waiting for our next move, for the delivery that we will make.
I want to grab him, if possible. Can
Yeah.
I grab him?
You absolutely may. I will have you make an athletics check to see if
Okay.
you're able to place your hands upon him, as this is technically a grapple.
Conga bringing her speak to the manager energy.
We are 2 seconds in and she's already the mom friend.
So you do grab onto him very easily. He seems to react as if everything is happening moments after it does. So you grab him and you kind of give him a shake, and slowly his head turns and he looks at you. And you can see his hand is fumbling for the table. You don't know what he's reaching for.
I would like to give him the old razzle dazzle here. Is there a Can I use my performance skill and sleight of hand to yell at him and then also lift this book on the desk?
Well, your goal is to pick up the book, and
Yeah.
you are trying to, at the same time, intimidate him. So you can make an intimidation check. He is operating as if affected by a slow spell. So you will be able to perform 2 actions, more or less, to every one thing that he does. So I will allow you to do an intimidation check, And then also, if you would like, you can try to snatch the book away from him with a athletics check as well, or acrobatics, your choice.
I think I'm gonna yell at him with intimidate and be like, "You need to get outside and man the ship," And then if by chance I can get him to turn around or like get going, then I'm gonna try and lift this book.
Okay, so then let's just stick with the intimidation for now, and then you would be using a sleight of hand because it seems like you're trying to do this in a way that he wouldn't see. So go ahead and make an intimidation check. That's a natural 20. So congratulations. You've rolled a natural 20 on your intimidation check. Now, I have house rules, and I will explain them to you. These are not traditional Dungeons and Dragons rules. So they're things that we do to kind of add a little extra flavor to this game in particular. When you roll a natural 20, you roll just a straight d20 again. And if you get another natural 20, something amazing happens. You would then roll that a third time, and if you roll 3 natural 20s in a row, something campaign altering occurs.
I just want to say, because Kaza looks like she's panicking. Kaza, if you go to roll 20, and the top left corner, you should see a little toolbar. There's a little dice logo. If you go to that, click on D20, it'll just roll a straight D20 for you. You see
I
it?
have many, but for theatrics, I have my
Alright,
own.
you do whatever you want.
I believe in you. So go ahead and roll. So you got a 17. And with the 17, you will not confirm, but you still critically succeeded on the skill. Again, typically skills don't have critical successes in 5. It's kind of a house rule thing as well. But I always allow natural 20s to be successes and natural 1s to be failures. So no matter what your bonuses are, you can't really pull yourself out of that just for the highs and lows of the game. So with a natural 20, you grab him. Tell me what you have said to him.
Listen, I don't have time for you to be babbling about some dame or boy or something that you've just gotten yourself into with this drinking, but get out there and man the ship. Chelsea.
Yeah, you kind of like, you bring him around, and for a moment his eyes clear, and he kind of shakes his head. Seaborn, what's this doing now? He looks down at the desk and sees the book, slams it shut, and goes to a bookshelf and pulls a book back, and a hatch opens up into a secret chamber that you were unaware is there. But inside of it is a number of very valuable-looking chests and some scrolls and other books. And he locks this book up and puts it in and closes it and looks at you. Sailor, we need to get moving. This storm isn't going to take care of itself. Thank you for gathering me. I apologize. I'm not quite sure what happened there. And he steps forward.
Fine, just get out there. I'll clean up this mess.
Very well, yes. Well, thank you, Seaborn. Excellent work. And steps out. Still looks pale and thin, and eyes still have this gaunt sallowness to them. But the captain, Captain Grable, steps out and into the storm, kind of giving you a nod before doing so. You are now alone in the room. What would you like to do?
Lock the door. I don't know. Wait to listen for his footsteps to go up the stairs, and then start to work on the task of cleaning up the room, but also getting my way closer to that secret door.
You begin picking things up in the room. You do hear his footsteps on the wooden steps outside of his chambers, and he walks up those steps, and you lose any sort of sense of how close he is with the storm outside. But the sheets of rain are still pouring down on the leaded glass windows, and you can see that the ship is rocking violently back and forth at this point. You do hear the bell in the distance, and you hear shouts from outside. All hands on deck! It's Snail. All hands on deck! Do you continue to get closer to the bookshelf?
I do.
And your hand reaches up towards the book that was used to trigger the secret passage. And as you place your hand on it, everything goes dark, and there's a moment of emptiness as the sea and the storm around you disappear.
What the hell?
You're standing now on a street in Waterdeep. You've been here for months. After sailing with the Siren Call, it made port after that priest, strange figure, jumped overboard. After Captain Grable hung himself. Everything got worse after that. The priest had said to you that you'll burn in Avernus, told you that your spirit was forfeit and that everyone on the ship would pay for their transgressions, for bringing this curse back to the world of Faerun, where it should have been buried in that dragon's hoard. The priest was young, from Baldur's Gate. At first, the young cleric spent their early morning hours paying homage to the rising sun, to the dawn world. But as your journey continued, their faith wavered until it was gone. The rest of the crew turned inward. There was mutiny. Snail took the captain's place. And at that point, his cruelty became clear. Any perceived kindness on his part was a distant memory. And the rest of your travels on that ship was a living nightmare. Thankfully, you made your way into Waterdeep and, taking your very meager earnings, plunged yourself into the enormous, sprawling city. Stacked upon itself, building after building, you have never been so glad to be away from the sea. You have it in your blood. Half of your parentage is sea elf. The other half, sailor. Now, with firm ground under your feet, you have been struggling. You've rationed the coin that you have, but you're at a point where eventually you'll have to find new work. Some of your former crewmates introduced you to a number of people. Individuals that they had met when the remains of the cargo of the Siren Call was traded off. You see, from what you heard, though you weren't on the ship at the time, someone stole something very important off of that ship while it was docked, killed a number of people, and brought all of the attention of the Waterdeep City Watch upon it. Last you heard, the Siren's Call had been dry docked, pulled into a section of the city known as Anchor's Rest. You're not the only one. who's been trapped on land. That magnificent old galleon ship now collects dust hanging from rigging above a warehouse far from the sea. Your contacts introduced you to someone that could give you coin and help you while you were preparing yourself for perhaps finding additional work on the docks, maybe finding a new ship to sail with. Meanwhile, it seems that through those that you have worked with, this person can help you. So you've begun taking on small jobs. At first, delivering letters, missives, then cargo in carts. You find yourself loading cockatrice onto the back of a wooden cart. Seems like a simple thing, but you know that these are illegal creatures that are being used for some strange ritual somewhere else in the city. In fact, you and the rest of the Grasping Eye have been working for some time now to gather all of these creatures that have been passed down to you from various cargoes. People enter into the city and bring wyvern's blood, which is highly poisonous. Last you heard, the Manticore was still on the ship, but you're not going to be the one that has to deal with that. That creature is dangerous and feral. The leader of your cell, of the Grasping Eye, is a figure known as Vesh Drugir, of the House Drugir, a wealthy drow merchant from Minzabrinzen. You've brought another cargo load to a warehouse in the dock ward of Waterdeep. You always work in pairs. You've been given an armband of red. On it is painted a hand holding on to an eye. The City Watch has been circling for some time, asking questions. You and the rest of the gang have managed to avoid most of this. People are asking about the cargo of the Siren's Call. Specifically, they're looking for a book. You haven't said anything. You've just been waiting. You know that in time, you'll be able to make your way back there. You know the secrets that Captain Grable held. You're standing in the warehouse, and next to you is Navi, a very scrappy-looking member of the Grasping Eye. They have bright orange hair that has been spiked almost directly into the air, and wear a headband and leather armor that has been dyed a dark black. They have fingerless gloves, and they're juggling a dagger in their hand. The boxes sitting in front of you are for your contact, who's just walked through the door. It's the drow Vesh. They lower their hood, and you see them. Pale alabaster skin with dark purple veins that work their way through the flesh. The ghostly figure looks almost translucent in this dark light. Their eyes are pitch dark and purple. This drow elf looks at everyone with disdain, but you've come to know that as the severity of their presence.
Seaborn, you bring this to us, yes?
That's right.
I trust you and Navi have handled any witnesses. Yes?
Everything is as it normally is.
Excellent. So no one saw you make the delivery.
No one would.
There's just one last thing. I need you to kill Navi. Seems someone has been talking. Take care of them.
Can I do a survival check?
Yeah, you can make a survival check right now if you like. So with a 23 on survival, what survival typically is used for, Kaza? Is that you would be able to, find water or maybe find
okay.
find a path out of a situation if you were trapped underground or in a forest or something like that. However, in this case, what I'm going to allow that 23 to tell you is that if you decided to try to escape this warehouse, your best bet would be to climb upward. But you know that this drow is very, very agile and would make chase if you decided to run. You also know that given the way that the Grasping Eye gang has operated, that they don't leave loose ends. And that it seems that if you misstep in any way, this sort of situation occurs. If you kill Navi, chances are that your loyalty will be proven. But
May I ask questions about my relationship with Navi?
you may. You don't know Navi well.
Okay.
You have worked with Navi for a couple of simple missions. Navi seems to be a thief and a rogue who works within Waterdeep. They don't seem to have a very strong moral compass. They like drinking, and they make disparaging remarks about others.
But
That said,
Okay.
your choices are your own. It's up to you and how you perceive your moral compass. But this is a criminal. In fact, this entire organization is a criminal organization. You know that for a fact. As to whether or not you have justified this by the fact that you need to survive and make coin, maybe you have, during your time with this gang, only performed duties that were non-lethal to other individuals or didn't cause them any direct harm, other than maybe, transporting stolen goods.
all
But
right.
if you
well,
would, you're going to kill him?
yeah, Vesh. All right. Anything else?
So, how do you go about killing Navi, who immediately looks at you with wide eyes of surprise?
He's here. All right. So,
Yeah, this is your partner that you just worked with.
right, cool.
Vesh is asking that you remove them.
I just
Alright.
oh shit! I didn't see there. Oh, this is a
Oh
lot more
yeah.
awkward.
Let's start with an initiative roll.
Okay.
So we'll both roll our initiative and we'll see who comes out on top. You're going to be acting first in the initiative order, so you can do whatever you like. Navi whips their head over to you, and you see the look of surprise in their eyes as they comprehend what Vesh has just ordered.
Can I have this thing on my sheet called Opportunity Attack.
So you have an opportunity attack if somebody is in combat with you and then tries to get out of combat with you. So that'll come into or past you. So like if somebody's running away from somebody else and runs past you within 5 feet, you get a free attack. Currently, you have a number of weapons on your character sheet, and you can choose which of them best suits the situation. And you should be able to just roll the attack. And if you choose to attack with that, you can do that. If you'd like to do something else, that's possible as well. If you would like to try to poison Navi, or just depending on how you operate.
I just want to throw my hand axe to the head.
Okay, so that's perfect. So go ahead and click on your attack. So if you go over to your attacks and you look at hand axe, you'll see your hit, and usually your hit will have a bonus to it. If you click on that weapon, you'll see your ability to strike with it, and you can just hit so that it puts it onto your roll 20. It's up there at the top. Okay, I've rolled it for you.
Okay.
And you unfortunately, you should not have me do that because I rolled a natural 1. And I'm going to have you roll again.
Fine.
See if you...
I have two. I have 2 axes, so we're just going to
yeah.
throw the second one.
And you have 2 attacks. So luckily, we'll do another roll. But you did do roll to see if you get another natural 1.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay, that's not a natural 1, so you're okay. So the first axe flies through the air, and Navi it breaks out of their shocked demeanor and ducks down as the axe sticks into the wood of the wall behind them. And immediately they grab onto their daggers, and they're preparing to attack you as you reach over, grab your second axe, and fling it through the air. And as it spins, it strikes Navi directly in the head. Navi shouts in pain, falling backwards, turns to you, and they have this hand axe sticking out of their skull. Blood is falling in sheets on their face, and they are screaming. However, Navi throws a single dagger at you and misses. The blood in their eyes prevents them from being able to make an accurate attack, and the dagger flies through the air and hits the wall behind you, sticking into the wood and vibrating there right behind you. You feel like that would have been a deadly strike had it actually made purchase. Immediately, Navi scrambles and turns to start running away, screaming in pain while this happens. Their back is turned to you. What would you like to do? You have no more hand axes.
Can I use my opportunity attack?
As they are trying to run past you to the door, yes, they are going to pass by you. So you get a free attack, but that means that you're going to have 3 attacks because you have 2 normal attacks and then your opportunity attack. So you have your rapier or a longbow. You could even attack with just your unarmed fists if you choose.
Well, if he turned around and I tackle him, and he's got my axe in his head,
Yes.
I would like to unarmed strike so I can get my axe back.
Okay, so to grapple him, all I need you to do is make a either an acrobatics or an athletics check, whichever you would prefer.
Okay. This is exciting. I'm so excited. Okay. Let me get to that page again. Okay, so acrobatics.
Yes.
Let's do it. I'm getting my axe back.
Let's see how you did. So you do manage easily tackling Navi as they run away from you. You grab onto them, throw them to the ground. You would be able to take your axe, pull it out of their head, and I'll even give you your final action if you would like. Would you like to attack with that final action?
Yes, I would like to take my axe and finish the job I've started, all while wailing, "You should have brought home sooner!"
All right, so go ahead and you have an advantage on this attack because you have thrown them to the ground and they are prone. So you can roll 2 d20s. So you can roll twice and choose the better.
Okay, there's one. Got a 9. Got a 7.
Okay, so you easily drag your axe upward, and it plummets downward into Navi's skull with a sickening wet splat as their skull cracks open, and they die, twitching underneath you.
As you stand there, everything starts to go dark as you feel the drawl of a blade across your neck. And you see the pale form of the drow standing over you, watching you die. With a smile on Vesh's face, everything goes dark. You're standing on the deck of the Siren's Call, but you're alone. Mist surrounds you. Rain gently falls onto the wooden deck, and the ship very gently and softly sways against the waves. Other than the rain around you and your own breathing, everything is silent. And the mist rolls on like a gray sheet, endlessly surrounding you. You're forgetting things. How to tie a knot. Your first love. Your mother's face. The taste of butter. The smell of the salt sea. Everything that you've come to know is slowly slipping away from you. And then the ship stops. And the mist starts to melt away. Behind it, there is a darkness as shadows begin to swirl around you. The door of the captain's chambers on the other side of the ship bursts open, and there is a shadowy figure standing now on the ship with you. It floats across the deck of the ship, as if levitating towards you. It is a gaunt and strange skeletal figure, and you cannot see the facial features, but long, spindly fingers reach out towards you. Child of the sea, do you wish to live?
Yes, of course I wish to live.
Then take my hand. The long, spindly, spider-like shadow fingers wrap around your hand, and the shadows descend from the sky. The Siren's Call disappears, and the creaking of the ship beneath your boots is a memory, as all of your memories begin to flood back to you. You open your eyes and you see a strange, gaunt figure looking over you.
There are flickering lights all around, and the smell of death is heavy here. It is dank and cold. Your eyes shut again, weary, and you fall asleep. You hear the creaking of chains, and you feel as if you're being pulled. The sound of wood scraping against stone. You open your eyes again and you see a twisted face. One giant, dead blue eye looking at you with a stitched, scarred, and horrifying visage looking down at you. And then, weary, you close your eyes once more. Your eyes open a third time. Your head lolls over. And you see a stone pedestal. Upon it, a black book. And you recognize this book. This grimoire. This tome. And a chill runs down your spine, but you are thankful because you can feel. Your eyes close again. And when you wake, you're inside of a crypt. Alone. Next to you, a small, brown and gray rat squeaks. Pulling at you. And as you look at it, you see ribs, gnats, and flies clouded around it. It moves to one side of the chamber and then looks back at you. What do you do?
I'm gonna give it it's walked off into another direction from me.
Yeah, it seems to be trying to move further down the stone corridor. It's very dark here. Your dark vision is allowing you to see some distance, but you get the sense that these crypts and these chambers go on forever. And there's a cold breeze here, carried by stale wind that's issuing from somewhere deeper in this crypt. There are old skeletal bodies covered in dust, inset into the walls, and you are lying on a stone pedestal on a funeral shroud. You have all of your equipment and your items, and as your hand goes up, you feel a scar across your neck.
Well, I better get out of this. Where to, mouse?
It turns, and you can see that it has the back of its form must be broken. Maybe its spine was snapped, but it walks in a weird loping way as it crawls forward, flies and gnats swarming around it like a cloud. It smells like it's dead.
It is the last place that I want to go, but you're the only thing here, so we might as well take a look at what else there is.
Meanwhile, elsewhere in the chambers, skeletons have made their way into the chamber that the party was sleeping within. Watches were set and thankfully there was some warning to their attack. However, that warning did little to prepare the group as the swarm of skeletons poured in through the chamber on the far north side of this room. Maglo and Hawk immediately, I believe Hawk, actually, you were up here on the map.
Yeah, Hawk was next to Maglo.
Yeah, I was next to Maglo.
The strange bone-like visages of these skeletal creatures lumber forward. They are held together by ancient and old sinew, covered in rotten gowns and the remains of what once was armor. They carry with them spears and shields, and they seem to have been of some military force, soldiers that were buried deep within these crypts, far beneath the streets of Waterdeep. The rest of the party has been awoken by the shouts of both Maglo and Hawk. In our initiative order, I don't have that initiative order. Let's go ahead and have everybody roll initiative, and we'll start with that.
Woo! Why you cry?
What if I get? Oh no, I got a crit. Never mind. All good. I don't cry for my poor rolls today. No sir.
Once again, my initiative is not good.
Hawk, what is your initiative?
That would be 7.
7. Okay. Saray, what is your initiative?
It's 16.
16 for Saray. And Doddle, what is your initiative?
14.
14. Putting Juniper at 10. Maglo, what is your initiative?
21 with a crit 20.
All right, excellent. So did you roll again to see if you got a second natural 20?
I have not yet. Let's go again. Bang, 19. Fuck. Shit. Sorry.
Pretty
Damn,
pretty
roll
close.
20 dice, do one
Almost.
day.
Calder, you have a 15?
I rolled a 19 first, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 19 first.
And then I
Then-
rolled another one accidentally because things are getting weird over here in my internet.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to let you stick with your 19. And I'll bring you up there, bring you up there. Ellery, I'm going to go ahead and put you in this initiative order.
Oh.
Ew.
So
Also, Fabian, to answer your earlier question, yes, it's being nice to me because I threatened it with physical dice. So now it's playing ball.
Perfect.
Would you like
Ellery,
me to roll initiative?
yes, please. Please roll initiative, and we'll put you into this order. Okay, 6. Appropriate.
A clean 6.
Yeah, you've been out of it. Okay, so we're going to start at the very top. Maglo, I'm giving you the very first action as befitting of a critical role there. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I just want to establish mechanically what has happened. Have I had that crit hit me?
Yes.
Yes. So
They
I've
bust into the
already-
room, they attacked you and Hawk, and that's pretty much where
Brilliant.
we're picking it up.
Mags is gonna is just gonna do the same thing he tried before. He's gonna grab Hawk and try to pull him in the way of him. So he's gonna try and switch positions with Hawk. With the help, as Busby's like, that's a good idea, Buzz. And because Busby like flies and then starts swinging around Hawk as soon as Maglo gets like slashed across the chest. And with the help action, Busby's going to try and help him move Hawk in the way so they can swap.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just check our acrobatics for that, and we'll call it a day for the move.
Acrobatics. Brilliant. Okie dokes. Boom.
For a split second, I was like,
That's a crit fail.
That happened
have
the
the help
same time
action.
last time.
I have the help action because of Busby. Now,
You
I
do.
am going to say that last time I tried this, I also got a crit fail, which is great. Good, great. I love that for me. Again, 6. 6 is fine.
Yeah, still not great though.
Not a crit.
Yeah, so you do. There is going to be an attack of opportunity, just like there was last time. However, it's not a complete botch, so you're not going to significantly be put into a worse position. You can
Ah,
switch.
can you give me a hand here? Can you
Yeah.
get in the way?
You can switch with Hawk now. However, I'm gonna roll an attack.
That's fine.
The attack hits. You take 5 points of damage. So you take 5 more
hell.
points of damage as the rusted blade of the skeleton slashes across your side as you push Hawk into the skeleton that was attacking you. Busby mechanical brass wings flap down, smack the skeleton into the head, and then bounce off of it, flying erratically around Hawk. As all of this happens in a moment's instant, you stumble, half fall into the square where Hawk is standing, and you two can switch now.
Hank. Fuck. For that.
Hawk, you are now definitely engaged.
Sweet.
Dum dum da dum. Engage. That's it.
Donald, wake up! Wake up, Donald!
Okay, so next up is actually Calder. Calder, you are sitting up on your bedroll, and there are these undead creatures, these abominations, that are standing in jagged, scarecrow-like poses with blades and shields, attacking and moving slowly towards you and the rest of the group.
Okay. All right. So I think I have opportunity attack, right? Is that a thing that counts here?
You get the opportunity attack if they get within your range.
Oh.
So currently they are not within your range. You can move towards them. Typically it's if they try to disengage or move past you that you would use that.
All right. Well, then yeah, let's
You have an attack. You can just
Yeah,
move
let's
up
do
and
it.
start attacking. Yeah.
it's just immediately like oh shit. Diving into it.
Okay, so you stand and you draw your weapon.
Mhm.
Do you want to use your scimitar or do you want to use something else?
I think probably scimitar would be best.
Okay, so you easily can move into range of the first skeleton.
In the darkness of this moment, Calder, you see this skeleton lumbering towards you. Empty, dark sockets and the very faint glow of some green necrotic light deep within those sockets. The dull and aged bone, withered flesh creaks as the armored skeleton moves towards you with the intent to kill you. What do you do?
We're gonna take a swing. All right. Well, you know what? Why don't I just go right in the middle of the shit? Does that work?
Yep, that'll work.
All
So
right.
you can now attack both of these skeletons. All 3 skeletons you can attack. Even
Ayo.
actually, I take that back. You could attack 4 skeletons. You have 2 attacks. You're using your vicious scimitar.
Mhm.
So go ahead and make a roll. And I'd like to remind you that because this is a magic item, whenever you roll a 20 on your attack roll with this magic weapon, the target takes an additional 7 points of damage.
Whew.
Okay, you actually strike with your first attack, and you do 7 points of damage. Which skeleton were you attacking first?
I'm gonna go for the one that's not on top of Hawk. Yeah, that's the one.
This one.
They
This-
just,
this
try to
skeleton-
make that a little less crowded.
Totally. So this skeleton falls as bone splinters, and your blade rakes across its skull
and it shatters part of it. The jaw falls to the ground and crumbles. However, the skeleton is still standing. Do you wish to attack this skeleton or another with your second attack?
Let's attack this one again. Let's try that. Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and roll to attack again. You got a natural 1. Sorry about that. So you're gonna miss, but go ahead and roll a d20 to see if you have a critical fail, a super fail.
So that would be 11 to hit and then 8.
Yeah, so you slash forward, but the skeleton immediately throws up its broken blade and parries your strike. And without its jaw, it steps in close to you and groans.
Nasty.
Yeah, it smells like very old, desiccated death. Saray, it is now your turn. You are out of your meditations. Your revelry has been broken, and you are now conscious. What would you like to do?
Okay, I am going to... I'm gonna wake up. Look around. Whoa, what the fuck? There's help. And I'm going to, I'm going to... How far is that from me? Ooh, no, come back. Okay, that's 5 feet. I'm gonna, presuming I'm still on the floor, right? I'm still like laying down. I'm gonna open my eyes. I'm gonna grab onto my spear, which I obviously sleep with because I'm not an idiot. And I am going to sit up and thrust at the closest skeleton right here. This boy.
Okay. So you're gonna
without
attack it.
thinking, I'm just gonna boop and try and poke him.
Okay, you can actually attack from the square you're at, but did you want to move?
No.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. That's going to hit. So the spear throws outward, and are you using this two-handed?
Yes, because one-handed would be throwing it, correct?
No, I mean, it depends if you have a shield or something like that. But
I don't.
You're operating with two hands. So yeah, you thrust forward and you stab the skeleton, and the bones break and shatter outward as this skeleton stumbles back.
When the spear pierces, I'm gonna twist the blade in, and then it shatters.
Okay, yeah, it's still standing.
Damn.
Yeah, you didn't destroy it, but you did cause a great deal of damage to its form.
Good.
All right.
Do you just have the one attack?
I believe I only, unless I use
Key?
Unless I used can you hear me?
Yeah, so unless you use key, right?
Unless I use unarmed strike, which I didn't. I used a weapon.
Oh, okay.
So I only have one attack.
There you go. All right, with that, it is now moving to Doddle. Doddle, you are awake, and you are on your bedroll. You see all this happening. June is sitting next to you, and she is standing and getting herself ready to move into the fray. What do you do?
So good thing I was eavesdropping. Since I was ready to go, I'm gonna have a moment of bravery, and just for flavor, I want to get onto that coffin there so I can be at the same height as it.
Okay.
Try and do a somersault, but then have you ever done a somersault in your mid-20s and you get halfway and then kind of flop over? She flops over, it's that's fine, and then just starts running. I want to hop onto the coffin there, and I've been watching a lot of The Last Airbender recently. I'm gonna mold the fire in my hands and whisper some Elvish in there, and I would like to cast Scorching Ray, please and thank you.
Okay.
On like boom, boom, boom. These two
Okay.
guys.
Okay. So are you standing on this one? Which one are you
I
standing
want
on?
to run up to
Which of
this
the,
one here.
Coffins.
this one over here. Can you see? The one on the right.
Yeah.
The one
Yeah,
on
I
the right,
see it.
and get these three guys here. Just go.
Yeah, I see it. All right. So just make an acrobatics check for your somersault.
Oh, okay. Boop.
But you're totally moving over there. It's more for
No, no,
flavor
no.
than anything. That's a 20. So it's not a natural 20, but it's a 20.
She instead has
Okay.
a moment of surprise. It's like, oh, but okay.
So your Scorching Ray shoots outward, and Scorching Ray is a spell attack. So I need you to make a roll.
Three of them, right?
Yeah, you got to do it if you're doing it 3 times.
Yeah.
1 for each.
10, 16, and 17.
Okay, so the first ray, after you complete your somersault onto the stone crypt, you stand on it and you look down, and there's another skeleton that's really badly decayed, and its head turns to you, and its mouth kind of drops open, and you are distracted as you're completing the incantation. You speak the words of Elvish, and immediately a blast of your first Scorching Ray moves a little high and misses the first skeleton. The other 2, however, hit, and you can go ahead and roll damage.
Yep, yep, yep. Boof. Boof. Boof.
All
Second one.
right. Yes.
Go.
Okay,
One more time.
so
Here we go.
yeah. So both of them are hit, and there is a smolder as the bones are charred black as fire leaps out of your hands, and they are still standing, but the bones seem to be heavily charred and darkened by your attack. The second one was 9, is that correct? And the first one was 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, is
So-
that the initiative? Not the initiative. The spell roll up there? Do I just?
All you have to do is click the spell, and it'll actually roll to attack and give you the damage at the same time.
Good
So
to
you
know.
only have to click one button to do that. All right. So, okay, so that is Doddle's turn. Doddle actually blasts fire across the horde of skeletons that's standing in front of you. Juniper then is going to... Maglo, look out behind you. And there is a bright light. I can't believe the NPC is going to do so much of this work for you. A bright light that it begins to issue forth as Juniper holds her shield in front of her. The wooden face of the shield becomes very stern looking, and the mouth drops open. There is a bright daylight that issues out from both the eyes and the mouth of this figure. And each of these, 30 feet, pretty good. They need to make wisdom saving throws.
How wisdomous can skeletons be?
I know, right?
Great wise skeleton, give me your wisdom.
Yeah, they're not great.
It's like as he's dying, he's like, hurt people hurt.
Yeah, this was 100% June's fight to win, and Piper isn't here right now, so it's okay.
Yeah.
This the shield is thrown forward, and there's this bright light that washes over the creatures. Immediately, all of the skeletons stop and try to back away from the glowing shield. They are trying to get away from June in this moment. They will do that on their turn. Hawk,
it is your turn. What would you like to do?
All right, so there's technically one skeleton that I'm kind of like in the same square as right now. So what I'm going to do is I draw my sword back and I start bringing it down on the skeleton in front of me, and I'm going to cast Green Flame Blade. So fingers crossed. This hurts. And then I have to make a successful melee attack for this to work, so that is a 12 to hit.
Yeah. So you swing with the green flame blade. Green flame blade, and you miss as it slices in front of the skeleton. The skeleton seems to be backing away from June. It doesn't seem to be paying attention to you, and it's trying desperately to get away.
Okay.
All right. So it is now the end of the round, and this is what happens. The skeletons begin retreating. Calder, you're going to get 3 attacks, or no, just take, you get 1 attack of opportunity. So you can choose which skeleton you want to attack. There's a couple that were in front of you, so just choose one and go ahead and make an attack.
Oh yeah, it's just the one that's directly in front of me. Why not?
Yeah, the one that you've been working on. So go ahead and make that attack.
Trying. All right. Oh. Okay, hold on. There we go.
Boom! That's my boy! Nice. That's my son right there!
Yeah.
He woke up.
Oh, Captain, my captain.
Oh, for real!
Okay, so you can roll another d20 to see if you get 2 of those.
Okay.
That's
did.
my fucking
Whoa.
That's it!
What?
That's 2 natural 20s. Roll it again, and let's see. Let's see if you alter the campaign forever.
With just a fucking.
So close.
Well, it was a 13,
Guys,
not a.
I don't know if I want to alter the game forever. That's a lot of responsibility.
On a skeleton, damn.
So Calder steps forward, and I'd like to remind you that your blade immediately does 7 more points of damage because you critted. So you just did pretty much like 20 points of damage on that attack, more or less. So you step forward, and you strike forward with your rapier, your scimitar, and this skeleton explodes outward as dust and bones fly across the back wall. Hawk, this bone dust just kind of floats in the air in front of you as Calder just clocked this skeleton. The other skeletons trying to retreat from the holy energies that June has issued forth from her spiritual shield, are stumbling over each other and hissing at all of you viciously, but they start to fall upon themselves. So as they are in this corner of this rough-hewn corridor, they become stuck, and all of you are going to get an additional attack. So starting up at the top, as they're trying to escape, they don't get away. They don't make their full movement. So Calder, it's now your turn. What would you like to do?
I mean, let's attack the next one over. Let's attack the one that looks like it's in a puddle.
All right.
Right? Oh yeah. The one that just moved.
This one here? Okay. So yeah, you by all means you can move forward and attack. You have 2 attacks.
So there we go.
These are badly damaged.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's
let's...
So there you go. So Calder, you step forward and your scimitar drops down on the first skeleton. It's been badly charred by Doddle's scorching ray, and it shatters as well. You've destroyed a second skeleton.
I didn't even roll.
Is that not 19, not the roll that you made?
Is it not? Wait, what am I looking at?
No,
Did I
that's the
accidentally
old
roll?
roll.
That's the old roll.
Yeah,
that was
check.
to check
All right,
on the nat 20.
let me do a new one.
It's a natural one. You did
Oh,
not.
man.
Highs and lows. There's
Okay,
no
hold
middle
on.
ground
I
here.
gotta-
No.
Yeah. And then you started to fall asleep again. Actually,
I
at
have
this
2 though, right?
you do have 2 attacks. Yeah, this one misses. I just need you to roll again to see if you get 2 natural ones.
Oh. Huh.
No, you did not.
I did
Okay.
not. Sorry.
So go ahead and roll to strike the skeleton. As you kind of swing wide, you got kind of cocky there, and so
Mm.
Calder steps forward, and I see it like Calder running forward in this dramatic slide like a pirate, ready to slash at them. But a lot of flair,
Embarrassing.
no substance at all. So you just kind of just hit into the air, and then you're like, oh, well, I should
Oh my
probably
God.
focus.
Like a puppy on a tile floor.
Go ahead and roll your second attack.
Okay. That
That's-
is
yeah.
a 21.
And with that attack, you manage to shatter the skeleton, which explodes into dust in front of you and falls to the ground. There are 3 skeletons left, and they are trying to back through this hallway.
Mm.
And as they're doing that, Ellery, the rat that has been leading you through these corridors, turns a corner. You don't even know how long it's been now. It feels like maybe days. And the rat turns the corner, runs into a chamber, and as you turn, you see a grouping of skeletons that are attacking a very colorful group of individuals. There's not a chicken and not a goblin in the doorway there. You're standing on your own. We'll move those figures out of the way.
Harold,
But
get out
you
of the...
see what's on the map, effectively. But yeah, there's a chicken there, though.
Harold, get out of the fight! You're gonna get hurt!
I just kind of look there and try to assess the situation. Perhaps is there like a role that I could do to figure out like what's in my best interest here, like survival or perception?
Yeah, well, the first thing that I'm going to have you to do is to go ahead and make a perception check. The rat that just turned the corner has died and turned upside down and is now just lying on the ground, the stone floor in front of you, in this chamber.
Well, there goes my only ally. It's been a few days together in this case. Yeah, so I'll do a perception check.
All right.
I think I hit it. Nope, I hit it twice by accident.
That's okay. So you got a 16 on your perception.
Yeah.
Everybody, let's take a moment and have you describe yourselves.
Let's do it by turn order.
Not everybody at once.
Maglo, you start.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
mean,
turn orders.
okay, sure.
Go.
Maglo is frantically looking through an old World War II medic bag, wearing like old World War II-esque clothes, like baggy trousers, and this white shirt, which is quite quickly becoming very, very covered in blood. He's grabbing random potion bottles and small sprigs of things with his hands, which are hideously dirty and sooty as a small mechanical brass bird, goes on his shoulder and randomly nods and points at things as he holds them up like they're agreeing and disagreeing with different things that he's trying to make. He pushes up his glasses whilst speaking to the bird, and his whole left arm is absolutely like a wash, like a storm of this huge burn scars, and his face is like almost consistently covered in soot. That's him. Oh, he also whilst figuring things out, he slings an old rifle over his back, like a clockwork rifle with all these different barrels and things like that.
Calder, do you want to describe yourself?
I guess. So Calder is he's like a 19, 20-year-old looking boy. He's got sandy blonde hair. He's obviously been in the sun a lot. His clothes are pretty like basic, like cabin boy nonsense, except for he's got this big black coat. And it's like the fanciest thing on him. And he's got a big old scimitar, and he's covered in bone dust, messy hair, like a teenager that just crawled out of bed. He looks very confused. That sums me up.
Saray?
Okay, so on the floor, about 20 feet behind, I guess that's like 10 feet behind Calder, is this elf that is sit up, like stabbing at the skeleton that was there, and now is proceeding to get up and get ready to keep fighting. She has dark black hair that has like in certain light has like dark green highlights coming in and out, and it's really long and comes down into like a really, really long braid past her waist. She's wearing she is an elf. She has pointy ears, but they're not as big or tall as other elves. They're relatively shorter. And she's built like she's an athletically built elf. She is not scrawny, I guess. And she's wearing like a dark navy blue sort of robe tunic. She has a very long spear with very metal pointy end, and she has this very like stern, focused look on her face at all times.
And Doddle, would you like to describe yourself?
I'm a little goblin. I'm breathing very heavily, whether it's because I'm out of shape or because I'm scared. Who knows, maybe a little bit of both. I have little white flowers in my hair and big floppy green ears like a beagle with little freckles on them. Got big old round glasses and tiny little sharp teeth and big old blue eyes. Got a little blue scarf and a brown coat and boots that look far too big for me.
And on the other side of the chamber, you see this very put together looking woman who's holding forth a shield made of what looks like very old bark, and it's radiating this bright wash of energy. She has a white kind of gossamer robe on. It's a midriff so that you can see her very clearly. She has her hair pulled back very tightly, and she's very sternly glaring in the direction of these skeletons. Hawk.
All right. Well, record scratch, freeze frame. You see that tall, lanky, anime-looking boy with the giant sword? Well, that's me. He is very thin, holding a long sword with a black pommel and a chain around the hilt with runes down the blade. He is wearing black armor and red cloak, all of which has engravings of ravens and bird-like symbols on it. He has bone white hair and is incredibly pale and kind of emaciated looking. And definitely looks like he needs sleep.
Yeah, but what's your blood type? You can't do the anime intro and not do your blood type.
His blood type is sad.
It's a very
Great.
popular fantasy blood type.
That's very good.
His blood type is often leaving his body.
All right. Ellery, why don't you describe yourself to everyone else? There's also a orange and brown chicken that is pecking at worms on the ground.
And our dead cat friend, right?
Yeah, but you don't see the dead cat yet.
Alright,
Yeah, Mittens is
so I have long pink hair, and it is pulled behind my ears, probably in a ponytail at this point. Still scruffy look, white shirt, tan doublet, or not tan, gray doublet, and I've got some tall brown boots. I've got like tan suede pants on. I look a little worn out. I've been in this cave for a while. I have a look on my face that's perplexed. Like, what the hell is going on here? What have I stumbled upon?
I would also add that there is a scar that runs across the base of their neck.
Looks
question.
like you all have this handled pretty well, I say off to the crowd.
Quick question: does she look familiar to certain members of the party?
She looks familiar to you, Hawk.
I also forgot on the subject of scars, Hal has a big old claw mark across the side of his face.
Well, your hair is
Totally
usually flopped
Yeah,
over
the
it anyway.
hair is
yeah.
usually like that, so it's fun.
You're not a skeleton.
Yeah, his emo hair hides it.
Do I also recognize the figure?
Yes, because were you
new
were
person?
yeah, you were in there. Yeah, you saw
Yep.
it. Yeah. So yes, you both recognize this figure. Okay, Maglo, I'm sorry, I did skip you in the initiative order. So what would you like to do?
That's okay. With all the skeletons start slowly backing away to leave, Now looks at his now very bloodied hand from holding his chest, and then all the skeletons fucking hell, and puts his hand in his bag and pulls out a bunch of sprigs of random plants, puts them all into a vial, and then chucks this white liquid in that as soon as it touches all the leaves starts smoking and fizzing, and chucks it. He's gonna cast Acid Splash on this boy, one closest to him.
Okay, so your acid splash.
Yeah, I'm just gonna display it right there for you.
Yeah, please do.
So you hurl a bubble of acid. Choose one or two targets that you can see within range, which is 60 foot.
Yeah,
And
they're
if I
both
choose
there.
Two, they have to be within 5 foot of each other.
Yeah, these two are.
Please don't miss.
So they need to make a dex save or take 2d6 damage.
Okay, one of them actually succeeds, the other one fails. So the first one is going to fail as it stumbles backwards. The one behind it is going to take half damage.
I believe it's no damage because it's a cantrip. It's no damage if they take it.
1d6. Yep, you're right. So the other one is free of any sort of damage whatsoever.
Or any splash. So this is 2d6 plus 4, which is 12 altogether.
All right. So the acid eats away the sinew, and this one falls apart as or right in front of Hawk, rather, dying as the acid boils away the sinew that's holding them together, and they fall into a useless pile of bone. The other skeleton, however, is free of the attack and ends up trying to escape. Saray, is there anything that you want to do while these final skeletons, they are continuing to try to push themselves away as they hiss and scratch at the wall. They don't take their eyes off of June and the light that she's creating.
Okay. What's my movement? Oh, 45 feet. Baby.
Hey.
I'm going to. Can I jump?
Jump.
Is my jump the same as my? Oh my gosh! What happened, Roll20? Why would you do that to me? Mop
You
mop.
did this for what?
Just kick me out of that. Anyway, I'm gonna jump because there's like 2 more there, right? There's 2 more.
Yeah, there are 2 more skeletons that are trying to escape.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump right in. I'm gonna like do ninja jump. And I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna jump up and get between the 2 skeletons. And I'm going to unarmed strike them with the blunt end of my spear. That way I can get multiple. 17.
17? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. You
Plus
can
acrobatics is 20 somethings plus.
Yeah, I that's perfectly fine. You jump over Calder's head and you land roughly over here. You can put yourself into melee range with the skeletons.
Yes, and then
Good morning.
I do like a very graceful like flip as I like jump over and then like slide between the 2 skeletons, and I'm gonna spend a key point to do an unarmed, to do the fury of blows.
Okay, you're gonna do a flurry of blows. Okay, so
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and roll your first attack.
And like I like flip and I jump between the 2 skeletons and I take my blunt end of my spear and like the one that's facing everyone but is probably behind me, I'm gonna like jab the blunt end of my spear into it.
You are attacking unarmed, or you're attacking with your spear?
Unarmed, but it's
flavor?
the blunt end of my
Yeah,
spear. It's not
sure.
like the sharp end.
Sure. So the first skeleton shatters underneath your attack as you strike it across the skull. Its head explodes and its body drops to the ground. The second
Nice.
skeleton, go ahead and roll your attack.
I just keep rolling the same attack. Is that it? I'm
Yeah,
kind of
you-
confused on how Furies of Blows works.
You,
Because it's
you
supposed
need-
to be 2 attacks, correct?
Yeah, you have a bonus action for an attack, so you get to attack again.
Okay.
And you can continue to spend key points to do additional things.
do more,
but,
right?
Yeah. So your key just allows you to more or less
Cool.
choose when you want to do these things.
Cool.
Uh,
I'm gonna. So I hit it with the blunt end of my spear, and then I'm going to like hook kick it across the head after I pull back my blunted spear.
And as you do, the final skeleton, this one had also been charred by Doddle's attack, explodes against the back wall and shatters as bone kind of rolls through the corridor. And the remaining skeleton that is inside of the crypt here reaches up towards Maglo and fails to attack as it claws kind of feebly towards him. And June slams it with the shield, and with this glowing light, the skeleton shrieks and explodes. And all of you are now standing in the corridor. There is a hissing noise from the far corner here, Calder. And as you turn, you look away, you see the undead cat. Its ragged and broken form hissing with absolute contempt and hatred at Juniper.
Do I know this undead cat?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, you weren't here.
Gravesmaster Zir gave us an undead cat to lead us through these crypts. That's a very important piece of information.
Not yet decided on a name, but we will at some point. We're just waiting on one that we all vote on unanimously.
Yeah, I am sorry. Calder, this is the cat that has been leading you and the party through these tunnels.
Hold it.
Yeah.
We haven't decided if we want to name it Maglo yet.
You're not gonna name it Maglo.
Why?
We've
It could be
named
Maglo the cat.
We have Maglo the person, Maglo the... Wait a minute.
This
who's
is
that?
bullying. This is actually bullying. Like,
Is that,
I-
guys, there's a... And I'm gonna point it at Larry.
Pardon me, but do you know how to get out of here?
So I was thinking of naming it Mittens. Wait, what?
As soon as I'm gonna turn and see this person that I very much recognize, and I'm going to get ready into fighting stance and like spear up and be like, "Why are you here?"
Wait, Saray. This is the person from the Siren's Call. The one that
I like
was
quietly
Gravesmaster
signal
about.
Juniper to like dim the light or something while all this is going on. I feel like
Juniper has extinguished the shield, looking at you, and looks back at you and kind of nods. She kind of shakes her head and looks at that undead cat, and then looks back to everyone, looks to Hawk. Calm down, Hawk. And then turns and starts gathering her things, rolling up her bedroll, and putting together all of her camp.
Maglo also draws his rifle and points it to just following Saray's lead.
Jesus, guys, Maglo, put the gun down. Wait.
Can I walk right up to Larry?
You can.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Donald. I'm sure this is all just a misunderstanding. You don't look like a skeleton to me.
Doddle. This person was dead in Gravemaster's science experiment weird room.
All right. Well, whatever that is, that's fine. But listen, can you guys help me out? And I want to get out of this wherever we are.
Wait,
Believe me, we do too. Yeah, she's the one. She's the person we told you about, Maglo, the one that we traded the book for. The person that worked on the Siren's Call.
It works that fast.
Right?
You've
What
been
are you
down.
talking
You've been
about?
down here for a few days, traveling. So it hasn't been a matter of hours. I'd like to remind you that this is not the first time that you camped in the crypts. It's been a few days.
I'm sure you all have me mistaken for somebody else. It's dark down here. A few of you probably can't even see that well. So, if you wouldn't mind, which way is the way out?
My hand's still up.
Actually, listen, I can see in the dark, and I see that scar underneath your chin just fine. It's just like the one that was on the operating table. Then it was a little open, though.
Just because I can't inspect where your scars are doesn't mean I'm going to accuse you of being someone that I don't know. So,
All right,
please.
I just want to explain to you. You don't know where you are, right? Because we're in the city of the dead. We're like underground, under a graveyard, in another graveyard.
Can I make a perception check to see if she smells undead?
You can.
Actually, Maglo, while that's going on, I'm gonna go up to Maglo. You look pretty busted, buddy. And I'm just gonna put my hand on his bloody chest.
don't
and
touch
lay on
me.
hands.
He's gonna push it. He's gonna push Hulk away.
Whoa, dude, it's...
I told you not to fucking touch me with your god shite, right? I got it.
It's not even gotcha, it's just stuff my people can do.
Meg, well, Hook was just trying to help.
I know. I'm literally a medic. I got it. I told you not to touch it with me with it.
Tell you what, Maglo, I won't do this godly stuff. It's just the stuff that I can do naturally, okay? No gods involved.
Al's taking a drink from his flask, like, oh,
I
shit.
don't know if I trust you to do it, because you have used your god magic to try to force me to do stuff before, and I don't think I forgot that you tried to literally command me to do stuff. So
Al walks up
Oh,
to
you
the
mean the time you tried to
front
shoot the
and
manticore
Al-
when we were all busted
I
to
can,
shit?
I can clearly see they're up to something. Something needs to be sorted. Thank you. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
I was
Hi,
gonna,
I'm
I was,
Al.
I was gonna say while
Oh,
Maglo and
thanks
Hawk,
to these people.
I was gonna say while Maglo and Hawk are fighting, can I use that as a distraction to like take Ellery away and like Calder can come? We can go
Yeah.
step aside from the tension.
what is happening?
Juniper just looks to both of you as you start pulling Ellery away and says, "I'll babysit the two boys."
Thank you.
Dad, don't fight.
I rolled a 21 on that perception, by the way.
I saw. So Saray, that's a very good roll. So you do smell. They smell like Grave Master Zir's chambers. There's that kind of dead smell underneath, but then there's a lot of like heavy herbs and burnt smells and lots of like old
Like
old
embalming?
oils. It sort of smells like that, but Ellery herself does not smell dead, and they don't smell undead. They just smell as if they've been down in the crypts and around Grave Master Zir for a while. But they actually smell like sweat, and they smell alive.
How did you get down here? Were you following us?
I was not following you. I don't know how I got down here, and I think perhaps I'll wait to answer any other questions until I know how to get out.
Additionally, Saray, there's a rotten corpse of a rat on the floor that wasn't there before.
Like out of nowhere?
Yeah.
Where is, like by Ellery?
It's in the center of the chamber in front of Ellery.
New friend, what was your name?
Illyri. Illyri is my name.
Illyri.
You know what? Recently, I think I lost employment of a job. None of you are looking for a hired hand by chance, are you?
Well, the more the merrier, if you ask me. Just don't ask anyone else. Maybe Calder. Definitely not.
Can't really
Maglo.
pay I'm cool with it. I
Oh,
don't.
no payment then? You said?
I mean, we could have
Oh.
payment, but also, Illyri, am I pronouncing that correctly? If I may, offer a suggestion, you would like to get out of these crypts. I'm not the most confident in anyone's chances in these crypts by themselves, so maybe you could come along with us. We're going deeper into the crypts, but I'm sure we'll come out at some point, hopefully. But there's a better chance of us coming out of these crypts alive if you stick with us, and same goes for you.
Well, you're the first people I've seen in days, so that sounds like a good plan to me.
Illyri,
All right.
Calder, Illyri.
Yeah.
Illyri, that's Saray. And then the two boys bickering are Maglo and Hawk, and then that's Juniper, the really strong, cool-looking one in the back there.
And I haven't handed back the flask yet.
Oh, a flask? Oh.
Drinking Calder's. I hand it back.
Oh God, thank you. All right. All right. So she's coming with
Can I
us.
take a hit of that flask? Talking to Maglo sober is yeah, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
I love you, buddy, but
And
then I
that's
take
it.
a drink and I pour a little bit on my shoulder where I have a wound. And I
Hey!
just slap it with my hand and I do I'm just gonna heal myself with Cure Wounds level 2.
All right. So go ahead
Because
and
that's
roll for
with-
that.
Yeah.
Or you've already got it. You don't need to roll for it. Okay.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm totally saying that Cal stole that whatever was in that bottle from the embalming room. Have
So I'm
fun.
gonna heal 13
You've just
points.
been drinking poison.
Straight
Oh,
pure alcohol.
this tastes like you can grease a wagon wheel with it. Calder, listen. I'm not somebody to judge, but I think you might have a problem, buddy.
It's a problem when I say it's a problem. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'm just saying, maybe you should lighten up, stick to ale for a little bit.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
So
Did you explode any skeletons just now? I don't think so, and I wasn't even awake yet, so you can enjoy your nasty wheat tea.
I'm sensing there's a lot of tension in the crypt tonight. I'm sure we'll address that at some point, but for the time being, shall we move forward both emotionally and physically?
Yes.
Yeah. Can we like
Right.
finish sleeping? Because they woke us all up. I mean,
Oh, that
maybe we
is
could rest for a little bit.
You wanna
Illyri, are
just
you
go back to
tired?
sleep?
I mean,
No, I feel like I've woken after a long time of resting.
Well, then,
I
I'm
like.
sorry. I feel like we're not addressing the fact that you're here now.
I'm not asking you why you're here. I just, each one of you I could ask
Okay,
questions.
let's not
so-
make it sound like I'm fucking weird for asking a question or asking why you, just someone who was apparently dead and is now being brought back to life.
All right, now
is
hold on.
walked-
I don't know what you're
first of
talking
all,
about.
you
I
walked-
don't know what
you
you're
walked-
talking about. Okay.
You walked
and-
further in.
Hey,
the
you know what?
crypt,
She
right?
doesn't
From
know
what
what
I-
we're
from what
talking
I'm
about,
hearing-
so clearly we don't need to ask her about the Siren's Call. She doesn't need to know about the book we got. So,
Do you even know what the
We won't-
Siren's Call is?
yeah, she probably
And I
doesn't
look
even know
at-
what the Siren's
And I
Call
look at
is.
her like with like this very serious stern.
She won't know anything about the Siren's Call or the mysterious room we found in there.
Cal is paying a lot of attention very suddenly.
So we wouldn't need
Do
to
you?
tell her anything about that.
Do you
Listen,
know
until I'm out of here, I'm not telling you anything.
I bet you.
I mean, isn't that
Graves
fair enough?
Master Zir just straight up lied to us.
I am
I
sensing.
bet you this person doesn't know anything about it.
I am sensing that Illyri has set a boundary, and we should respect that boundary.
Oh, Donald, come on. We're not. It's. Right,
Besides,
okay.
it sounds like
Saray,
this is
he
my
just turns
sleeping
away
chamber.
from Doddle and then starts talking to Saray. Right, Saray. So, what we got here? New person was apparently on a table. I gave the book, which can apparently bring people back to life, and now, 3 days later, someone comes walking in?
Gotta
I
be
mean,
praised.
technically got the deal that we made, but my concern is why is this person showing up now versus when we go back to
Surely she didn't just
here?
walk out, right? You couldn't just leave. Without seeing Graves Master, the first people that she's seen in days?
Sounds like she did. Maybe you shouldn't call Saray Shirley.
How much do I know about necromancy? Would I be familiar with how necromancy works, or
I mean, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
That's actually true. Can I,
fuck?
with having experimented with attempting to bring people back to life through science before,
Yeah, you both can make Arcana checks.
I have no
Oh.
idea.
As somebody who serves
Necromancy
the
work?
goddess of death, can I make this check too?
Make a religion check.
12 for me. So.
Yeah.
You say your name was
Okay.
Doodle?
Doddle.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
can call me Doodle if you want, though. That's pretty cute.
Doodle, Maglo, you can call them whatever you like.
Book.
What was your question against Saray? What directly were you trying to?
I was trying to because Fabian knows that
right.
necromancers control their undead and tell them to do things.
Yeah, right.
Undead wouldn't do something on its own free will.
Yeah.
Obviously, Saray has no fucking clue how necromancy works. So,
Well, that rule doesn't mean that Saray is ignorant of all necromancy that's ever existed. It just means that in this moment, you do not see a correlation that would help illuminate your question. You're not sure. You think that it's possible that a necromancer would control their creations. You also don't really know if Ellery is actually a undead creature. So you're just not sure. Maglo, you, what was your question? Was it specifically the same, or was it something else?
Not necessarily. It's more of a because he's just his brain is just trying to fire off any form of information about bringing people back from the dead and all this because he's attempted this before.
Yeah. You don't think that she is undead. You think that she has been resurrected.
Oh, that's so good.
Because she's not exhibiting any of the symptoms of undeath. She looks healthy. She seems to be breathing. You would have to examine her to know for sure, but it seems like she is, biologically sound. She's not a corpse. The other thing is, there's something that's a little haunted about her, but you're not really sure what that is. Hawk, you, on the other hand, know that she's not undead, and you do not sense any of the dark necromantic energies around her that would. You just don't sense it. You have the ability to sense these things. You know she's not undead.
Okay.
Yeah. So there you go.
How
Look,
would
I don't know how necromancy. Go.
I was just gonna say, what also, like, another thing that I wanted to know too was, how does my patron/god feel about people being resurrected, or necromancy in general? Would I know that?
Your patron?
The Raven Queen, yeah.
Oh yeah, that one. You're not sure. Wait, that one. Yeah, no, I'm just joking. You're not sure that she cares. Necromancy is something that she doesn't particularly appreciate. She doesn't like the dead to be taken away from where they belong, generally speaking. She's more of a god, she's more of a being that focuses on death rather than undeath. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so she's more into the whole passage from one plane of existence to another, and resurrection's just like a natural part of that, kind of.
Yeah, the Shadowfell is her focus.
Okay.
And the powers within it. Undeath is a residual effect of that place, but it is not her focus. There are others within the Shadowfell who very much focus on undeath. But you're trying to remember, and you recall stories that you have you found in your research about powerful forces of undead that are originated from the Shadowfell. But you don't. This is not an affront to the Raven Queen, but at the same time, the spiritual part of it might be. The physical resurrection, not so much.
Right.
Okay.
Look, I don't know a whole lot about necromancy, but I think it's a little odd that all of a sudden this person shows up that we were told would be here. That's a little weird, right? Almost like she was sent here.
Oh, it's a little odd. I mean.
So what are you gonna kill her?
She's not.
Or
being
is she gonna come with us?
I mean, we don't.
Alice like reaches for his sword, like, what do you want?
Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Right.
I
Well,
have
I
this
don't think
face
she's
the
being
whole time.
controlled.
Robert De Niro. I'm listening.
Yeah.
I don't think she's being controlled. From what she looks like she's of, not sound mind, to be fair, but of not.
Does anybody
being
hear of
possessed.
sound mind?
Nor was being possessed.
She seems
So
cool.
maybe you.
She's not undead in the way that most people would consider undeath to be. She was just resurrected.
You're sure about that?
Listen,
I know.
I picture
We're
everybody's like in a huddle off in the side and Needle area, like.
No, I'm just saying it so she can hear me. Like,
yeah,
she's.
Maglet is not that bothered. He's just talking out. Right, so are we working off the assumption that Grace Master Zir is on our side, therefore wouldn't send anyone to try and kill us, and we can just continue on, like we have a new.
Listen, she's
ally?
not grasping eye. She's not a mind flayer.
I mean, it is.
All right. You
If
can
she's
come with
grasping
us.
it.
I'm gonna cross from the hall because I'm still way over here. On the other side. I'm gonna say you can come with us, and
Thanks.
we will hopefully
Thanks.
work together to get out.
Thank
But
you.
we will find out. I don't know where I was going with that.
Thank you for that.
I'm gonna be so pissed.
All right. What are
All
the
right.
rules of your traveling companions? Like, we all sleep around each other?
We've been taking shifts considering the danger of this place. But I think, are we all ready? I look around.
Oh,
Continue. I look at the cat.
I really think we should at least rest up a little bit, patch our wounds.
Are you going to take a short rest before you continue on?
As the resident warlock, I would like to.
Yes. All right.
enough.
Let's take a bit of a rest, gather our things, and just be prepared.
Can I spend the short rest sitting with Illyria and being like, one time Maglo killed a guy and then he almost died and we brought him and we grabbed him and then he survived and then I think a lot of us cried. I definitely did. And then Calder, we met. He used to work on the Siren's Call, I believe, or he was born on the Siren's Call. His family was from the Siren's Call, I think. And then he was a sailor, and then we met him, and now he's part of the gang. And then there's Hawk, who is like sort of a demon, but not really a demon. He has
Please don't call me a demon. He's like packing things up. It's actually incredibly rude.
Sorry.
Like,
Illyria is like taking mental notes as
Yeah,
if
there's a
take-
lot of
like
yeah,
planning on like like perhaps like a scouting like like later holding on to this
There's
perhaps
a,
blackmail.
there's a lot of information that's coming out all at once. Doddle's pretty much giving you everybody's backstory.
I-
I'm just gonna say June is there, and June at one point puts her hand on Doddle's shoulder.
Oh.
Doddle, you may want to give our guest a little bit of time. It seems that she's come to us from a very difficult situation.
Okay, what do you want to talk about?
You got any ale?
No.
Hey.
Magic words.
Calder's
Cal
ears
hands
perk
her a
up.
flask, and it is
I
full of
don't-
what must smell like rocket fuel at this point.
Willing,
Oh no,
willing to
everybody
try anything.
froze.
Careful,
You
that
have
thing
also
might blind
frozen.
you quicker than a Baldur's Gate Pit Finder. Pit Finder. No. Can't talk.
Hi, by the way. I'm mad, but you're Illyria?
Yes, the name's Illyria Seaborn. They found me at sea once.
Do you mind if I just give you a once over? I'm a medic by trade. I just want to make sure if you can't remember anything, just any concussion or anything like that, just
Well, I've been eating my oranges daily from what I can remember, but yeah, go ahead, poke a stick at me.
So everyone is standing within this dark and dusty crypt. There are the bones of numbers of skeletons that have been scattered across the floor here, and shattered tablets and crypts. All of the stone coffins and all of the pieces here are covered in a kind of a dusty coat of heavy dirt and grime. In the center, there are a few shallow puddles of very dank black water. There's a chicken and an undead cat. And all of you are standing and resting at this point, talking to one another. Is that correct?
As everyone's resting, I'm going to inspect that dead rat in the middle of the room that I noticed earlier.
Yeah, you can make a. Let's see. Try a nature check.
Nature?
Yeah.
Why is it the one that I suck at?
Just in between, just quickly, can I
Hold
get
on,
a call?
okay.
Actually, can I have a hit of that flask, please?
It has been dead for a very
Okay.
long time.
Hey, I'm gonna call over to June. Hey, June. Come here real quick.
She comes over.
This wasn't here earlier. And I gestured to the rat. Does this look weird to you? You know more about animals than me.
I think you're right. Let me take a look. And she kneels down. This rat has been dead for a very long time, and it radiates with residual necromantic energy, much like your cat.
Huh.
During your short rest, what do the rest of you do?
Calder, can I have a hit of that flask, please? Thank you. I know everybody else is doing it, and just, we're going on an adventure. It might be fun.
I want to attempt
Are
the
you
drinking
sure?
game.
Yes, please.
Calder passes the flask to Doddle.
Thank you. All right, Illyri. Do you have one in mind? Okay. How about this? For every kill we get, to even the playing field, we have to take a shot.
No.
Yes!
Not gonna happen.
I'm in.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Yes.
No.
I raised
You
my
can
voice.
do it.
That sounds like
Calder,
a really
you can do it,
bad
Doddle. You
idea.
can't do that. You will
Why
fucking
not?
die. Because you will die.
Die.
Why will she die?
Have you ever had a drink before? You're gonna take 6
Yeah.
shots. We just killed 6 fucking skeletons.
I'm pretty sure I had a drink on that night when we went to all the taverns.
Hey,
Right?
it looks like
Did I?
Doodle's tall enough to make her own choice.
Then after,
Do I need to explain
after
to you
hang out
guys
with
while
Doddle for a
drinking
little
when
bit,
being
you're
chased by
gonna
mind
learn.
flayers is a bad idea, or
So, Doddle, you are drinking with Calder and Illyri.
Also, this was a character choice because I took a sip of the drink I made and went, oh, that's strong. Let's roll with it.
Fair enough. Maglo, what are you doing while they're doing this?
Maglo is looking over Illyri, just making sure that just doing just like a general check. Like they did turn up here, but have been walking for 3 days.
Go ahead and
making
make a
sure that they're not like actually dead, dying. Make sure their blood is fine, they're breathing properly, they're alive.
make a medicine check for me.
While he's doing that, can I mess with them a little bit? Like if he goes to look at my breathing, I go ah, and just no, goof around a bit.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make a medicine check with a disadvantage.
Alright. That's gonna be 13 still, because I'm gonna use Flash of Genius.
Okay. It's hard because they seem to be full of jokes. However, you do manage to get a good sense of what's happening, although you are perplexed by a few things that you don't have answers for. Ellery is alive, has blood in their veins, is warm to the touch, and is breathing. However, they seem to have a very kind of a fresh wash of vitality that you're having trouble explaining. It's not necrotic, it's not undead, but there's some sort of pulse of vigor in your observations of how their biological systems are working. The blood is flowing very strongly through their veins. They are breathing, but it's a very rapid breath. Everything seems to be sort of amplified.
Jots it down in his little notebook. basically also ignores the Illyri keeps like when Illyri like tries to like jest with him, he just ignores it. I mean, he was like he's dealt with rowdy boys in the army when he's trying to do medical shit, so he's like used to it now. Occasionally, like whilst talking, like click somewhere, and then just like try to like distract Illyri for a second as he like looks at something.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like little tricks.
Calls
Like-
for all the tricks too. Like if
Yeah.
yeah, look over here, just like, oh, all right, what is this? You know?
Right, well, you seem fine. Like really fine. Which is
Thanks.
weird. Alright. Hey, I'm gonna get this looked at. Pointing to his old the fucking gash on his chest.
Yeah, speaking of which, on Illyri's neck there is a scar. The scar would be a fatal wound. There is no way that you can see that somebody could suffer a strike from a blade against the jugular that way and not immediately bleed out.
So, you don't remember anything before you woke up?
I didn't say that.
What do you remember?
Listen, I said we could have this discussion once we get out of here.
Alright.
Hawk, what are you doing in this moment?
Hawk is trying to shake off the whole everybody's drinking thing, and he's inspecting the skeletons. He said they looked like old warriors and stuff, maybe like trying to identify like how long they've been down here, or like if they were a part of a specific group of warriors or anything like that.
Make a history check.
That is not the best. That's a 4.
You don't even know for certain if they were soldiers, and you're not certain that all of these tattered pieces of rotten fabric mean that they are uniformed. You're drawing blanks here. You think that they might have been part of some army, but it's hard to say.
Okay. Are there any like pieces of cloth with any symbols on them or anything, or
None that are recognizable. Or,
Okay.
Most of it's so deteriorated, it's hard to see anything.
he's gonna give up then and keep packing his stuff. Hey guys, by the way, I wouldn't drink too much. Trust me, with the stuff that's chasing us, you don't want to be drunk.
I got this, Hawk. It's totally fine. Calder,
don't.
miss?
No, you don't got this.
As
All
much
right.
as it pains me to say, I think I agree with Hawk on this one, Doddle.
Calder,
You
may I
don't
speak to you?
You don't want to drink too much in the first time around.
Calder,
Guys,
may I speak to you for a moment, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Take Calder's idea. Calder, you're a sailor. You have a lot of experience drinking, correct?
Yes.
Yes. What if I told you, that when we were all partying at the tavern, I was drinking nothing but water. I was very thirsty, and I gave all my money to Saray. But then I got really defensive with everybody saying, "Oh, you can't do this, Doddle. Like, is it because I'm small? Is it because I have the least experience? I don't know, but I drank a lot out of spite, and now I'm afraid I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Is there something I can do? Can I, like, tap my nose or my ears or something to, like, should I count to 10 a lot? Because now I feel like I have something to prove."
All right, hold on. And Cal brings out like another flask that's just full of water. He just like goes behind and like switches them.
Thank you, Calder.
But wait, hold on. Have a sip first.
Okay.
He gives her the real one, like take a sip of that.
Yeah.
And then he takes it back. He puts his fingers in it and like he's putting cologne on her. And then he gives her the water back. Go
Thank you.
for it.
And I have the water flask?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna walk and be like,
So, Doddle, are you currently inebriated? Do you think that you were? Do you think that you didn't drink enough to actually get drunk?
Momo's a little tipsy right now, so we'll say that.
Okay, so so Donald does have a little bit of a buzz on. Okay, so we'll do that. But she's not drinking any further, right? She's drinking water at this point. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good to know. So the short rest passes without really any incident. The rest of the crypt seems to be fairly quiet, and the cat is sitting on the far side of the chamber at the steps of the rough-hewn corridor that the skeletons had come out of. And it looks at all of you, kind of moving its good eye slowly across the group, and it meows at you.
All right, are we ready?
So, go time?
Let's
I think
go.
so.
Oh, okay.
If you have adjusted your character sheets to allow for your short rest, really just Magalo had taken damage, but some of you had used abilities, and so some of those abilities will refresh with a short rest. Sorry, I moved Saray. The cat moves down the corridor, and it winds its way through. What is your marching order? Can you place yourselves in whatever order you'd like to be in?
I want to be beside O'Leary, please.
I'm probably gonna do similar to when we first entered the crypts. I'm gonna stay ahead quite some ways because I presume that they're gonna have a light. Someone in the party's gonna have a light. So I'm gonna stay with my back to the light, kind of scouting ahead and following the cat and making sure there's nothing dangerous up ahead.
Okay, so you turn the corner then first, Saray. Does anybody go up with Saray, or are you allowing Saray to scout first?
I think
I'd like to
Cal
go
would
up
want to
with
maybe keep his distance a bit, but so as not to disturb her.
Okay,
Hawk's
and then,
kind of like. Oh,
yeah,
sorry. I was gonna say Hawk's kind of heavily armored, so he'll probably take the front.
you move forwards, Saray. The cat just kind of slinks down the corridor into an open area, and you see a number of cavern-like, rough-hewn caves, and the stone floor seems to deteriorate here, and entire sections seem to be dug out from the walls to expand this area further back. And there are shattered remains on the floor, bones and other debris, and broken sarcophagus, as well as a number of shattered stone coffins. There is kind of a chill, cold, and very stagnant breeze that seems to be blowing from the north.
Can I roll a perception or something to see? It might be sleight of hand to see if the ground is uneven, or it's gonna collapse, or it might be trapped. This is the room that the skeletons that we just fought presumably came from, correct? Okay.
Right. In fact, I'm keeping our initiative
order okay.
as is currently. Yeah, I'm not going to have us all re-roll for that. You're still in that initiative order. So go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception check.
I'm gonna pick up a loose rock and throw it into the room before we enter.
Okay. So yeah, you didn't notice anything, but before you enter into the chamber fully, you pick up a rock and you throw it back into the larger room in front of you. It immediately hits some bone and it falls and kind of clatters into the debris. And there is a shuffle underneath the bones in front of you.
Oh. There's... Be careful, everyone. There's something in this room.
Can I,
yeah, Hawk is right there behind you, so go ahead.
can I use my divine sense
You may.
to detect, undead or celestial fiendish hallowed things?
Hawk, what's the range? Is it 60 feet?
It is 60 feet.
Yeah, there are, there's undead right in front of you, and you realize that it's radiating off the cat.
Oh, it's only the cat?
It's all that you're sensing right now.
Well, if there's anything in here that's undead, I can only sense the cat.
There's something moving under the bones.
Oh, but
Hey, June.
Uh,
Can you?
June is in the rear, all the way down.
Oh,
She's taking up the back of this.
And we definitely can't do 2 by
on
2
the
in
other
this
side of
corridor. We're pretty 1 by 1 in here.
Did I hear her?
No. I mean, unless you were speaking loudly.
Oh no, I definitely was quiet because I don't want to disturb whatever the hell's in this room.
So yeah, there's no way you can whisper to June. June is at the rear of the party's line here.
Here, you want me to go in first?
Can you cast a light spell or something? Something to possibly scare off whatever's in this room?
are
Yeah, I
there
can do
like
that.
pebbles and stuff on the ground?
Yeah.
Alright,
There's a
Cal's
lot
just...
of debris.
Yeah, Cal's gonna pick up a small piece of rocky debris and toss it.
Fool of a
Just like a little piece, something that would sound like, not like a baseball, like I don't know, something.
Before he
that
does that, can I cast the light cantrip, though?
Yeah.
would...
So
Sorry, yeah.
there is light glowing from. You put it on your sword or your hand?
My sword, since I'm probably holding it.
Yeah. So immediately light fills the chamber, and then Calder, you pick up a rock, and where do you put that rock? Where do you throw it?
I'll probably have to step up here, but I want to throw it behind the pile of bones.
So this whole floor out here is covered in debris and bones. It's like you can't even see really the floor. It's a charnel pit.
Grody.
Oh.
Okay, well then I guess I'll just try to throw it in the middle or as far as I can.
So you throw a rock and it lands here, and it clatters in, and there's a silent moment, and then there are a number of forms, you don't know what they are, underneath the bones that descend on this area. So you see bones moving, almost as if something is tunneling underneath them, and swirls where that rock hit. At least 3 figures.
Like, does it suck the rock underneath into the bones, or does it just...
The rock fell into the bones. You couldn't see if it hit the floor or not, but whatever motion or movement that it caused, whatever is underneath there immediately attacked that spot.
It's like tremors. They're like checking out that spot because they heard a sound. Right? That's what I assume. That's what I'm picturing. Like a tremor situation.
Accurate.
Did they felt the sound, not heard it?
Well, maybe they heard it. You don't know. What I think Fabian is saying is that the way that the bones and all the loose debris is moving, something is underneath it, tunneling underneath that.
Yeah.
Hey, Calder, I have an idea. Do it again.
Okay. Toss.
You throw another stone into the chamber, and it strikes against some bones, and it clatters down. And just a split moment later, a number of these figures underneath burrow towards that spot.
I'm gonna try and Eldritch Blast the figures.
Okay, so you're going to shoot 2 Eldritch Blasts right here. And yeah, you have plenty of range to be able to do that. Go ahead and roll the strike. I am going to give you a disadvantage because you cannot see exactly what you're targeting.
Okay, so this will be the first one.
Yep.
There should be a second one. Oh, that's a natural 1. Shit.
Okay,
Wow.
so let's have you roll to see if you confirm that natural 1 with another natural 1. You do
All right,
not.
that's a 19. Wow, I hate my dice right now.
Okay, so your
I'm rolling
second,
manual.
yeah, your second Eldritch Blast at a disadvantage.
Yeah, that is plus 7 to hit, so that is 15 and 7 plus 7, 14.
You actually hit something, so go ahead and roll damage.
Cool.
That is 1d10 plus 4, so that is 9 plus 4, so that is 13 points of damage.
There is an ear-piercing shriek. As something is hit, and there's an explosion of bone, and you see just actually Calder, Saray, and Hawk make perception checks.
It's 21.
15, 21.
There we go. Sorry, it took me far too long to
Alright.
find the thing.
Yeah, and then
Did
8.
that work?
Calder, you don't see anything. Saray and Hawk, you see the back of some sort of worm-like creature as it pulls itself deeper into the bones. And it clearly just got hit. And when Hawk's Eldritch Blast struck it, caused the bones to explode outward.
Did it notice where the Eldritch Blast came from, or did it just get hit?
You don't know that.
Okay.
Hey, Doddle. How many times can you cast Spider Climb?
Well, let me tell you, Hawk, I drink the water flask a little bit more.
Once. It's a concentration spell, so you can't
Oh.
cast it on more than one person.
It's a concentration spell. They can only cast it once.
Okay,
I have
all day though. Like once at a time, but I mean, if you were to cast it on somebody and they were to walk across the wall to the other side and then cast it on another person.
It looks to me I can only cast it twice, unfortunately.
Ah, shoot, me too.
Cal just starts picking up more rocks. Like, I mean, do we have a better idea?
Is there
What's
in the
going
room?
on?
Is there like is there a pit, or is the whole room a pit, or is there like maybe a path around the pit? When I peer into the room, what do I?
You'd have to get closer to see because you can only see what's in front of you.
All right, I'm
It
gonna
looks
get closer.
like the cavern descends into this charnel pit, and all of these corpses and debris are just filling this area. You're not sure that this is naturally meant to be a charnel pit. You think that maybe something has nested here and brought all of this in here.
Got it. Okay.
Nasty.
So, I'll say, it looks like this is some sort of nest. It doesn't even seem like there would be a way to get around it.
Idea.
Worm-like things.
What if?
Mhm.
What if? Is this a single file situation? Yeah. Okay. It looks like.
Definitely
if
single file
I
right now.
sat on Hawk's shoulders so I could throw rocks, and then he could Eldritch Blast when they surface.
I think that's a good idea. What? Or Dawdle. Yeah, I was about to maybe Dawdle. Can you set this on fire?
I was actually going to suggest I think Calder might be onto something with the riding on the back thing, because if we can cast Spider Climb twice, then we just have to see if somebody can piggyback somebody else across.
That is also a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes, Larry?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do I have my mandolin on me?
You do.
Can I just start like fiddling with it in the background?
You may.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I don't see this because you're in the back.
You don't see this.
I'm just gonna. I'm very concentrated on figuring out how the fuck to get through this room.
Yeah. So you're all there, and
That's a way. I'd be like, WTF, my dudes.
I'm not contributing anything to this, so I'm not sure to do absolutely nothing to myself.
that I need to know in initiative order what all of you. Let me turn this down. What all of you are doing.
I'm gonna be like, wait, hold on, before we get too carried away. Duh. And I pull out my bag, my dungeoneering equipment, and I'm gonna pull out the rope from before, and I'm gonna pull out a piton. We might be able to figure out a way to swing across the nest.
Oh.
I'm gonna start tying the rope to the end of the piton.
Okay.
Maglo. Do you have anything that we could launch this thing at so it sticks to the wall? Yeah.
Oh,
Saray,
so much.
wait, what if I just use Spider Climb and I can go up there and like actually tie it quite securely?
That also isn't a bad idea.
That makes more sense, to be fair.
Shall I do that then?
I think that's a great idea. And I tie out the knot on the piton in the rope, and I hand Dawdle the
Wait, actually, is it wise that we're sending Dawdle in ahead of everybody? I mean, no offense, Dawdle, but you're like the least armed and armored. We both have the same spell, so if anything were to happen, I could probably take a hit better than you can.
I'm gonna take another.
Look at her face.
I'm gonna take another swig of the water flask, and I'm gonna
Magizlo is just gonna grab. He's just gonna very angry just snatch it out of her hand.
Stop underestimating me! Ah! I would like to cast Spider Climb on myself, though. What do I gotta do? Oh, we never discovered what bitumen is. Is it poop? No.
You have your components, and you pull out a handful of this strange moss, and you rub it across your hands, and it's very sticky. And as soon as you complete the Elvish words, you are able now to climb on the walls.
Yes,
Yeah, you're still in the back. Do you climb over everybody's head and out into this chamber here?
After my great show of a demand for respect, I'd like to take my swig, I'd like to cast my spell, I'd like to, I have to get to Saray, then be like, excuse me, I'm just gonna sneak by you here real quick and make my way over to Saray.
Mago is gonna try and just snatch the flask out of her hand.
The collar's gonna try to snatch it from Maglo. Like barely leaves Dawdle's fingers. Like, I will make whatever check.
Go ahead and make a acrobatics check.
Can we all?
Yeah. Anybody who's trying to grab the flask.
I'm trying to keep it.
Yeah, well, you have Spider Climb enacted.
I'm trying to get in there.
Oh, right.
So,
oh God! Wait, that was my perception one. That was perception?
It's acrobatics.
Acrobatics.
Yeah, I did the wrong thing. Okay, hold up.
Everyone is trying to snatch it.
Calder wins. Calder. Yeah. No, well, Illyri is up there too. Illyria and Calder, you're both holding onto the flask. And the two pirates meet eyes.
Unpatched and all.
That's fine.
If you let go of this right now, I'll teach you how to make your own.
All right.
Make your alright. We're learning bathtub vodka later, boys.
So, Hawk and Saray, since you're the two that are not part of this right now or in the back of the group, go ahead and make another perception check. Mm-hmm.
As Cal puts the water flask back in his jacket, he winks at Dottle.
Hawk and Saray, it has become very quiet in the chamber beyond. The discordant sounds of the mandolin stopped abruptly, but they did ring out for a few seconds, and you're not sure what's happening behind, but you do see Dottle kind of climbing her way over to all of you. And Dottle, are you trying to get involved in taking the pinion and the rope?
Yes, I have something to prove.
Okay. No, that's okay. So what are people doing? We'll go through the initiative order. Maglo?
Maglo is going to try to ready himself with a shot in case Dottle falls or one of the things like leaps up out of the dirt, the bones to like try and grab her. So he's just like preparing himself and sailing.
Right. So you're preparing yourself. So you're going to hold your action, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that is yes. That's my bad. Yeah, he's going to hold his action.
If something attacks, then you're going to attack back. I'm hearing. Okay. Calder, what are you doing?
Sorry, Dottle is climbing the ceiling right now. What is that?
I'm gonna.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she's not done that yet. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna, I don't know, wait for something to swing on. There's not really much for me to do at this point.
Right. You are in a position right now, too, that unless something attacks you directly in this corridor, you cannot do much of anything as far as attacks are concerned. Do you want to push forward closer to the edge of this pit, or do you want to stay where you're at?
No. No.
Perfectly fine. Okay, so then you're holding your action, and you might move if there's an attack or something that needs your support. So that's another held action. Saray.
Yes.
I'm also gonna hold my action, and I'm watching that pit attentively. If something moves, if something comes out of it, if something looks like it's gonna jump at Dottle or like anything, I'm just gonna spear in hand, like.
Okay. So you are holding your action, and if something attacks, you are going to attack that with your spear.
Yep.
Dottle, it is now your turn. You take the pinion, and you are climbing on the ceiling. Make an acrobatics check just to see how quickly you can move here. You do have an advantage on this roll. Okay, so with a 22, you're very deftly moving across the space.
I look down to see if Maglo's looking.
Maglo, are you looking?
He is. Yeah.
So you are moving across the ceiling. You are currently about... this corridor opens up here, Dottle, and then the room becomes very vaulted. There are these big pillars of stone that rise up and support the ceiling, and it looks like this was perhaps once natural stone, but it has been carved and is, although very worn with age, it's a very ancient looking, heavy set of pillars. You climb up about 40 feet into the air, and then you're still climbing. I need you, Dawdle, to make a perception check.
Oh, great. I love it. Alright.
That's a natural 1. Go ahead and roll
Thank
that
you.
again and see if you get another natural 1.
I did actually accidentally, and it was a 19.
Okay, so you didn't get 2 natural 1s in a row. However, you don't see anything.
Lord.
I'm gonna. So you said there's like pillars holding up the ceiling?
Yeah.
I'm thinking my game plan is to like tie it around one pillar, make my way to the other one, tie it around that one, and then like tie it in the middle, so that we have something to swing on.
This is how many feet of rope?
It would be.
I mean,
50
is there
feet.
anything that I could just tie on the top?
You have 10 feet of rope left, Donald. So you have a pinion. You could hammer it into the wall. You could maybe find another surface. The pillars are so massive that you don't even think you have enough rope to wrap around it. And so if your goal is to make something that they can swing across on, you could attach it to one of the pillars, but it wouldn't go around the pillar. If you want to tie it to something, you're going to need to find some sort of rocky outcropping.
Okay, I'd like to find something that I could potentially tie it onto.
Okay, so you start looking for that, and that's going to be the end of your round as you're kind of moving across the ceiling. And then it's going to just be a dangling rope that they can either swing on or maybe climb up. You'll need more rope to get it across this area here. You could run it all the way here so that they can maybe from this point to this point.
We should. Dawdle, what do you see in that room? Dawdle, what do you see anything in that room?
There's like a bunch of pillars, and then I don't see anything.
All right. So Juniper is pressing forward. She seems anxious, Ellery, but nothing seems to really happen on her part. She's praying under her breath. Hawk, what are you doing?
Hawk is going to... Fuck it. Hawk's going to take a stone, go to the edge of the pit. He's going to kind of drop it slightly within melee range. Just like right in front of me. So I'm still on the stone, but the bones are in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to chuck it up in the air and have it land in front of me. I'm going to have my sword like this.
Immediately there is motion underneath the bones as they push into that area. What do you do?
I'm going to take my sword, turn around, and the moment I see it coming close, I'm going to stab down with my green flame blade.
Okay, so roll to strike with a disadvantage.
Alright. Icing this.
You got it.
Let's see to hit. Okay, so that's 16, and that's 13 plus 8, 21.
Okay, so your disadvantage, you hit 16, so you have hit something underneath. There's another shriek.
Alright, so that is for damage. I'll just roll it on. So this, and then green flame blade is this. So that is 13 plus 3, so that's 16. And then if there's anything near it that could take damage, it would take 12 fire damage.
Yeah, it'll take 12 fire damage. It'll spread over as there's a blast of green fire that kind of shoots out underneath the bones. There are figures there, and immediately themselves out of the... And these strange like creatures with these deep black glossy eyes appear and shriek. There's a blast of flame. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so they leap out of these, and you see these like sickly, huge worm-like creatures with these tentacles that are writhing all around their face, almost like a cowl these tentacles seem to be just snapping outward. They have a pair of antennae that kind of shoot backwards, and these little legs, and so they push forward, and they immediately begin attacking. Okay, Ellery, you're further back, and you hear some shrieking noises, but you just see all of your party members crammed into this tight cavern.
I'm gonna opt in to put my mandolin away.
Okay, you sheath your musical weapon.
And I'll draw my double axes.
Okay, so you got your axes ready now.
Hell yeah.
You still don't have a viable range target. You'll have to push forward and push people out of your way to try to get further up. Would you like to do that?
I'm just gonna look ready.
Okay. You look like a badass. June is the only person who really sees it. So we're gonna say that you've also readied an action. At the end of the round, these creatures attack. Saray, are you standing in the place that you're currently standing in?
I moved out of the way for Hawk to get in there.
Awesome. Two of these are going to attack Hawk, and one of them is going to attack you.
Fuck. Okay.
So, and like the one that's attacking Hawk is actually that far away. It doesn't. The tentacles lash out, and they seem to extend forward as they are attacking. The other two are a little closer, but they're actually grabbing forward. So, Hawk, the first one is attempting to, is going to try to wrap its tentacles around you and pull you down into the bones. It misses, so it tries to wrap its tentacles around you, and you step backwards as they hit weakly onto the ground. However, it then lunges forward and bites at you. The bite, however, does... do you have anything other than your straight AC right now? You're at 19?
Yeah, I'm at 19.
Okay, so it lashes forward, and you feel this kind of network of little, really sharp teeth, like razors, digging into your arm as it moves past your armor and lashes downward. Let's see here. That is...
Does this trigger my held action?
It's going to, yes.
Cool.
But they get their attacks first. 2. You take 5 points of damage as it bites you.
Right.
And make a Constitution saving throw.
Save. That is 17.
Okay, don't worry about it. Just asking. Just making sure your dice are warmed up, that's all. Okay, and that's the first one. The second one lashes at you, Hawk, with tentacles, and misses. It is not close enough to bite, so it doesn't. And then Saray, tentacles on you, miss, and then it tries to bite you, and it misses that as well. They're not rolling well. All right, so after that, anyone with a held action, let's start at the top. Maglo, you see these creatures are attacking Saray and Hawk.
He's gonna fire a shot at the one that's attacking Saray.
Okay.
Since I didn't say I was holding a spell, it's just going to be a generic shot from a generic gun.
Yeah, it's still a gun though. So go ahead and roll the strike.
Boom.
It's an 11 misses. So you hit the wall behind the creature, and like some rock explodes right by your head, Saray. And there's a loud ringing noise throughout the cavern, and everybody's ears ring for a moment.
Fun fact: I rarely use my rifle for its actual intended purpose. I don't think I've ever hit a shot with it.
I think you
hit my spell flavors.
You killed a guy once with it.
The
unarmed dude.
If your intention was to let everything in the crypt know where you are, I would say that the rifle is doing a great job.
Well,
You are a
it's gonna happen at
resounding
some point.
success.
All right, Ellery, you were holding your action. Is there something you would like to do?
I think they've got it taken care of. If it starts to move towards the back, I got it.
I love your confidence. All right, Calder, you were holding your action. Is there something you'd like to do?
I was. I can't move and attack with a held action, right?
You can move forward and attack. Yeah.
Oh. See, I'm wondering if it would be a better idea to do that, or because I picked up all those rocks and I never said I put them back down, so I could just toss them everywhere.
You could. It's up to you.
Yeah.
It's like pocket sand.
I mean, they're already out and they're already attacking, so.
All right. So, do you want to
Yeah, I'm
throw
just
the
gonna
rocks?
run
or-
up. Well,
All right.
can I toss the rocks as I run, just haphazardly? Chaos?
Yeah. You do that, and rocks just
Okay.
scatter all around you like rain as you run
Oh.
forward and fight. Yeah. So, like, rocks are raining down around everybody, and it's distracting. But other than that, it's not really doing anything for the worms.
Cool.
But which
Pocket
of these?
sand.
Yeah. Which of these are you gonna attack, Calder?
I think I'm gonna try to get up there with Hawk. You know, some solidarity there.
Sword boys.
Oh, but I moved him a little bit, and now there's a whole new one. Oh,
Oh. Okay.
was that supposed to be there?
Yeah. There's 3.
Okay, well, now I see him. There he is. Here I am. Hello, let's fight.
Are you? Which one are you attacking? This one?
Well,
Or this
probably the one right next to me now.
Yeah. You're like you're hugging it. You kind of push forward past Hawk, and yeah, you're just like right in its face. So go ahead and roll. You have 2 attacks.
Yes.
A third if you choose to use it once. Or was that
Right.
long rest or short rest that you get that back?
It says short rest.
Yeah, so you have 3 attacks if you want them.
Yeah, let's see how these go.
Okay, so
Huh.
yeah, you have hit with an 18, and you've done 6 points of slashing damage. It shrieks horribly as your blade cuts into it, and this thick black bile pours out of its fleshy carapace. It still is fighting though, still lashing out angrily.
Grody, let's do another. Oh boy.
You hit it again, and with a second slash, you open up another wound across its soft underbelly, and it shrieks once again.
Wow.
It's still standing, however. Do you want to use your third attack, or do you want to wait?
Shit. You know what? Since this one's like all up in my petticoats, let's go ahead and maybe use the other attack.
Okay, so you're going to use your third attack for
I
another scimitar strike. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah, I figure it might be worth it to try to get rid of it. Oh.
You swing, and as it lunges forward, you panic and slip on a rock that you threw, and it causes you to swing kind of wildly, and you miss it. And like you're looking down at all the rocks on the floor, and you realize that maybe that was a mistake. Okay, so that's Calder. Saray, you had held your action, correct? So what are you doing? This creature is attacking.
I'm going to, so the tentacle comes up, right, and tries to attack me. I'm gonna, like, kind of jab up with my spear. As it, as I dodge its weird grossness.
It's roughly about 6.5 feet in length, but when it's on the ground, it's only about as tall as Dawdle.
Oh, okay, then I'm just gonna try and skewer that baby.
Well, to be clear, right now it's reared up, and it's as tall as you are.
Oh, then I'm gonna skewer that baby.
All right, so go ahead and roll with your spear. That's a natural 20.
That's right, baby. Whoa. Well.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna where I skewer it, I'm going for where I presume is the head. And like once I get my spear in, I'm just gonna twist it and try and like just like pick it up and F that thing up.
Well, you with your crit, it did 9 damage. So you stab outward, and the creature shrieks, but it is still standing. And you try to push it. Is that what you're trying to do?
No, I'm gonna it's like stuck on my spear, right?
The critical, I'm gonna allow you to have the spear stuck in it, but it's definitely still alive.
Fuck yeah.
So you've hooked it, but it's still
Awesome.
it's still kicking.
I'm just gonna keep it hooked in hopes that if Maglo tries to shoot again, they can, or whoever tries to attack it, it kind of immobilizes it a little bit, makes it easier to hit.
All right, I'm gonna call that a grapple, and I'm gonna make you not roll for it. But in the following rounds, you're gonna have to roll either athletics or acrobatics to keep it grappled. Okay.
Okay.
And so I will treat it as if it's prone for any other attacks that fall upon it for this round. Okay, I think that sounds fair. Dottle is up on the wall. Dottle, from out in the darkness on the wall, tentacles strike out at you, and you were unaware of the presence of one of these creatures crawling on the wall above you. So you have a reaction, so you can cast your shield reaction, I believe.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go. Ah! Oh wait a minute. It doesn't say concentration here. Range yourself.
But if you cast any other magic, you lose your concentration on your spider climb and you're gonna fall.
So
just yeah.
Well, in that case, I'm just gonna like look at it and just kind of like close my eyes, knowing I can't let go.
Sorry, did we accidentally skip my turn? Because I held an action.
You shot.
Now we're back
You
to
shot.
Dottle. Yeah, but that was my held action.
Dottle is being attacked. Dottle's not doing anything. She's reacting with shield, while another creature whose action it is attacking her.
My apologies.
That's okay.
I understand what's going on.
Yep. It's okay. We'll just skip you next round to make sure that it. No, we are good. But let me check something here, because if I'm correct, you are you're not going to be able to cast another spell, Dottle. But you your current AC is that 14?
Mine says 13.
Oh.
Well, that sounded like the sound of that.
You get hit by the tentacles, and I need you to make a acrobatics check for me, please.
I don't think there's anything I can do. This is a 5.
Oh.
You're gonna take 6 points of damage.
Shit.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
15.
That's good.
Is it 6 points of damage?
You take 6 points of damage, and you get pulled off the wall by the tentacles as they wrap around you. And you feel this oily substance on the tentacles, and it kind of burns. It's like a hot, acidic touch. It doesn't seem to be burning you as in acid, but there's something weird about it. It smells very acrid and gross. And you're wrapped in these tentacles, and you're currently grappled. So you're going to need to fight out of that so that you can do something else. Your concentration, for you to continue doing Spider Climb, to have that spell still active if you want it active, you're going to need to make a concentration check.
I mean, is there any point? Because I was pulled off. I'm gonna. You know what?
It's as to what you want to do, because if you keep it active, you might be able to break free and jump back onto the wall. Or if you want to cast spells to try to attack it or something like that, you may just let it go.
I wasn't anywhere close to getting this thing tied, was I?
You were very close to a rock that you thought was a good call, but now you've got the rope with you and you're not near that thing.
I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna think of my friends, and I'm gonna keep on concentrating. So that's 17.
You managed to keep Spider Climb cast as this creature pulls you forward. So you still have Spider Climb.
Okay.
All right. So Juniper can't do anything. Did anyone else have a held action? I don't believe so. Unless Ellery, you wish to do something.
I'll look at Maglo and I'll be like,
that's not going to help.
I'll be like, forget him. What has he got that I don't? And then I'll like go in with my axe and see if I can get in there.
If you push past Maglo, yeah, he just shot a rifle. So if you push past him, you could then see around this corner. And if you could see around the corner, you would see these weird slug-like creatures. So the corner that you push past, Ellery, gives you access to be able to see the rest of the room. And beyond the backs of your allies, you see these large worm-like slug creatures with writhing tentacles and these dark black glossy eyes. And they are all pushing towards your allies and attacking them. One of them is currently skewered on a spear that Saray has hold of. Calder is legitimately grappling with one, standing directly in front of it. Hawk is now kind of in the middle, pivoting, and there are no signs of Doddle. You are able to attack with your ranged weapons if you choose to throw axes, or you could move forward and try to have a more controlled melee attack by stabbing them with your swords. You could, as a bard, you could inspire an ally and give them a better chance of success at something, or you could cast any number of the spells that you have.
Would this be an opportunity that I could use Sentinel attack? Am I within 5 feet?
So Sentinel occurs that you have to be within 5 feet of who you're trying to protect.
Oh,
so
got it.
If they attack somebody within 5 feet of you, then Sentinel is very useful. Okay. You do have a shield and you have your sword. You won't be able to just use your axes, but you could step forward with your shield and sword drawn and place yourself next to a character that you think might get attacked, and then that would allow you to use Sentinel.
Okay, well, we got these axes out, so I'm just gonna move forward if I can, and just whatever's attacking these allies, I'm gonna just try and get rid of it. Cut them in half, eat it for dinner.
Kaza, go ahead and move yourself into whatever position you want, and just make sure that you're 5 feet away or right next to whichever of these creatures you would like to attack. You move forward, and Maglo and Saray are currently kind of in front of you. You push past them. Do you want to push past Hawk and Calder, knowing that that's going to put you out in the open?
I just want to attack the immediate thing that could possibly harm me. So kind of wherever that is.
So attack the one that Saray has pinned. It is currently also at a disadvantage because it is it's on the ground, or not on the ground, but it's considered prone. So it's easier for you to hit. So you can go ahead and roll your attack with advantage, which means you're going to roll twice, and then you're going to choose the better.
And I just roll a 20?
Yeah. your attack for your sword. Is that how you're gonna do this?
Let's go and axes in.
Oh, okay. I was looking at Doddle. No wonder this was so confusing. I was like trying to help you with your sheet. I'm like, why do you have so
They
many
are
spells?
very similar.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Wizard and a fighter, very different character sheets. So if you attack with your rapier, and you have your shield out, that means that when these creatures attack, if you're close by and you choose, you can enact your sentinel as a reaction. So the attack on the with the rapier. Let's see here. Is this your D20 that you rolled here?
I don't know. Yes, that's me. Yeah,
You
that's
can
me.
roll a physical dice and just add 6 to it if you want.
I left my dice upstairs, so
That's okay. The 12 is you. That means you rolled an 18, and
Okay.
that means that you hit. So you can now do damage.
Woo!
You do
Yeah.
1d8 plus 3.
1d8
Plus 3 damage.
plus 3. 1d8. I got an 8.
So the creature shrieks as you stab at it, and Saray is holding it with the spear. You very easily sink your blade into its underbelly, and a thick viscous fluid issues forth as the creature writhes as it's being held in place. Okay, so you've stabbed the creature, and you're now prepared to enact Sentinel if on another turn somebody near you, which everybody's pretty near you right now, is attacked. You can choose to do this. You can only do it once, but you will be able to attack with an attack of opportunity. And then that creature isn't able to move away from you. You kind of like stand in front of it and hold it in place. Okay? But you have to use your reaction to do that, and that's only going to happen once. So let's go ahead and move forward from there. We're going to go back to the very top of the round. Yeah, top of the round. Maglo, it's now you.
So, like, big fight gang are fighting all these weird slug things, worm slugs. I don't know why I have slugs so decorated in my head. We can't see Doddle?
You cannot see Doddle, no.
Did we hear Doddle yell?
You were yelling Doddle, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And
you hear
unless
Doddle.
that would have broken my concentration.
No. What are you yelling, Doddle?
I'm picturing she like closes her eyes waiting for the impact, and then when it grabs her, I'm just screaming because it fucking hurts.
All right.
Fuck. Is there a way? Fuck it. Mago looks to Busby and gives a little like, and then points just like into the like just down into the tunnel. Go see if you can spot Doddle.
Busby flies past all of you as this little glint of metal in this darkened cavern kind of shoots out. The green glow of fire from Hawk's blade kind of glints off of the metal as the small automaton flies into the main space, and you lose sight of Busby. Donald, you see Busby fly back, and you feel this little light flash across you as one of Busby's lights seem to examine you.
Question: Would Calder be able to see that happen? From where
Calder
he
sees
is?
that happen. Yeah. You see all that.
Ooh.
Everybody sees that.
Cool.
And Calder, from where you're standing, you can see that Busby's shining a light on what you assume to be Doddle.
Maglo can't see Doddle still, though.
You're all the way in the back. If you
All the way in the back.
you have to get further up. You and June are the last two back here. And June just looks like she's ready to cast some spells to try to help people, but she can't get a good view.
He turns to June. I'm gonna move up and see if I can help Doddle, which means I'm gonna have to get past all these things. I trust you got this, right?
I'll take care of this side of things. Just be careful.
Good on you, love. Mags is gonna see if he can either bolt past the worm things or like climb a way over. He's just trying to get in eye line of Doddle.
Yeah. Okay, so you are gonna make a move. One of them can't do anything. However, the other one is gonna get an attack of opportunity on you if you move forward.
Busby hasn't relayed any information back.
You hear, you don't have a telepathic link necessarily. All you're hearing are the beeps, and you see some flashing lights, but you can't get a good view of what's happening.
Mags accepts that flashing lights is like danger.
Yeah,
and
you understand enough about Busby's communication to know that Busby is alerting, and the way that the beeps and things work, it's an alarm, and Busby is spotlighting something of importance.
Right. The scream, the little communication from Buzz. Mags is just gonna fuck it and just try to like. He's not going to try and do anything fancy, maybe like run up a rock just so he passes the things.
Yeah.
He's just going to try and run through.
So you push through, and the one that Saray has pinned lashes but can't do anything against you, as both she and Ellery are fighting that specific creature. The second one, however, that is being held back by Hawk and Calder lashes out at you with a tentacle. And it hits. Yeah, so this tentacle flies out, and it because they're everywhere. The tentacles can stretch out to 10 feet away from this creature. So they are just, they're writhing all around everyone. And you get hit, and you take 6 points of damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
That's not the one we want. 11.
So you are poisoned.
Fuck.
You feel this wet slickness across you as the tentacle kind of presses into your flesh, and you feel these little barbed hooks that latch into your skin, and then all of a sudden, you know what this is. As soon as it hits your bloodstream, you immediately start feeling ill.
He's gonna mentally shake it off.
Oh no, no, you're not.
You're dead.
No, you're not. You move forward, and then the sickness in the pit of your stomach begins to spread, and then you can't feel your hand. What were you trying to do? You were moving forward, right, and trying to get.
He was moving forward, yeah, because he was gonna. He had his. He was bringing out a small thing he was going to cast on Doddle.
So Hawk, you see Maglo pushing forward, trying to get to Doddle. You see this tentacle wrap around Maglo, and then Maglo pulls himself free, and you see this wet slick smear across his throat, and there's little bits of blood where it looks like little pinpoints of piercing have happened on him, and you can't feel your hand, Maglo. And then your arm falls numb, and you fall to your knees, and you are indeed paralyzed. And you are lying back up, facing the ceiling at the edge of this pit, and the bones are around you, and you see Doddle being thrown back and forth by this tentacled creature. And there's another one just off in the bones moving towards you. And that's where we're going to leave it today.
Oh.
Ooh, yeah.
He's gonna fucking...
We're fine. We're fine, everyone.
No, I'm dead.
No, you're fine.
I thought Matt was gonna die. I thought that basically the description that was being given to us was the death of
The
a new companion.
Sorry, guys, I killed the party.
He gets like this a lot. He's fine. He's almost died a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a dire situation, but nobody's dead quite yet.
Yeah. All right.
Good game, everybody.
God dang it.
Good dungeon crawl.